We should be live in a moment. Yeah, we're live.
Hello.
Hi. We're here. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Clitmas.
Leah.
It's too late now. I always say that.
We're
Where's
live.
Charles says Merry Christmas too.
He goes by Charlie.
Charlie.
But I guess Charles would be the proper name.
He's good
kind
boy.
of like King Charlie.
Yeah, that's why I call him Charles.
So we're having a nice little Christmas together, and we thought we would get on and see who shows up. If
Say
anyone.
Hi. Just have a fun Christmas stream.
It's been a while since we've been on together.
Not for a long time.
A long time. Years and years.
So we're happy.
So it is nice. I've been wanting to do it for a while, or thinking that maybe we could do it you at your place, me at mine. Oh, Dee Dee's here. Merry Christmas.
Dee Dee. Merry Christmas.
I saw you live this morning. Dee Dee was very what's the word I'm looking for? She always is very punctual and never misses her live streams. So it was cool to get up this morning and see that she was live.
Nice.
Even on Christmas.
Yeah.
So, and she got some nice cards and stuff for Christmas she was sharing when I was in there. So
cool.
That was nice. Yeah. And then I think Caleb was live earlier for a while. He's doing another big Christmas bash before and after. So hopefully we're not cutting into anybody else's Christmas viewing, but we are here together and we celebrate Christmas together. Yeah, with Charlie. Isn't he a cool bear?
He's so cool.
I
always hang out with him when I come to Terry's because he lives here. He is her bear, but he is so awesome.
He's a newer acquisition. I got him at a funeral, technically. This woman died, and he does have fun little feet. I love how far apart his eyes are. It's just cute. He's cute. He's got character. But yeah, the woman who died, it was a double funeral. Mother and daughter had both died within the year, and the daughter was a big collector of bears. So her brother had put out tons of her bears. She had hundreds, and he asked that we take a bear, but we had to promise to play with our bear and talk to our bears. So I do talk and play with Charlie.
We love him.
And Leah helps too, because she always makes sure Charlie gets some attention. He's the cutest little bear.
He's just on your couch.
I can tell that she had him a long time too,
Yes. He's older than us.
Yeah.
He's wiser.
It was nice. Yeah, Bob was nice to have us take a bear. And he came over to me and he was like, oh, that's a good bear. There was a panda bear, but I already have a panda bear. Yes. Daddy Bobo.
He's a good bear. He's a good boy.
So yeah, we thought we'd just hang and talk for a bit and then, see who's on. And then I've queued up some videos for us to react to if, if it's quiet.
We just haven't, the stars kind of haven't aligned for us to do a live stream. So now they have, which is exciting. And here we are.
What was your favorite Christmas gift?
For me?
Yeah, what was the thing that made you happiest this year?
Honestly, probably the robe.
Yeah, that's gonna be nice.
I didn't have a decent bathrobe for weeks. And then I finally got one on Christmas, so that was exciting.
I think I'm gonna adjust this so we're a little bit more.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, that's better.
There we go.
Yeah, if YouTube lets us, that's a good way of putting it. YouTube, my last live stream, not my last live stream, but the one before it. Now I feel like it's too light here. I don't know.
It's okay. It's okay.
I know. They can see us, but look. Also, it's just my skin too. My porcelain skin. This is the sun, not the sun, but the light just sometimes it is so bright. I look at myself and I'm like, I look like a ghost.
No ghosts.
Look
No
how
ghosts
white,
yet.
though. I'm all self-conscious
You're fine.
on my own channel.
You're fine.
So, yeah.
We've been up to kind of the same stuff we have been lately.
Shenanigans.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What was the last time we hung out? Was that the Christmas do?
I feel like it was.
Yeah, we went to a Christmas carol night at my church, and that was beautiful.
That was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. What was at the start of December?
I feel like I saw you before that, though.
Well,
oh no, we saw the movie. We saw the tree movie.
That's right. We went to see the movie about trees.
Yeah.
So we're both, one of the things that bonded us as friends was trees. Like, we both found out that we're tree huggers. You know, we go up to trees, we touch them, we talk to them, we hug them, we form relationships with them.
Yes.
You know, we have favorites. We have ones that we visit again and again.
Very special.
So we went to see this film called
just called Tree.
It was called Trees and Other Entanglements.
There we go.
And it was made by a woman here in Portland, although it's been put on HBO. I guess they produced it or whatever. And it was being shown at the local art museum. They have a new theater that they took over. So we went there and watched it, and it was really beautiful. And one of the people in the film was there. It's a guy who does bonsai he lives out like about 30 miles away, but
he's in the general Portland area.
Yeah, he's in one of the small towns that, you know, gets kind of lumped in with Portland but isn't Portland.
He's like this really well-known, probably the most well-known bonsai artist, tender, I don't know what they're called, bonsai experts in the nation. And he just knows a lot about them and learned about them in Japan. Yeah, he had to go through a lot to even get his apprenticeship. Like, he wrote for like over a year, he said, and then the guy didn't want to teach a foreigner, and he finally was allowed in, and he was treated like crap. And then, you know, it took years to get accepted, and then he left for a little bit and came back, and then he was a foreigner again. Yeah, it sounded rough. Yeah, I find that interesting because I remember like befriending some women from Korea, you know, over the years due to, you know, what happened with us getting contacted. Antics. Yeah. Yes. Our wild feminist antics. Yes. But you know, one of the women I know, not one of the women that came to visit us specifically, but that I met in New York, she had talked about people kind of treating her differently because she's a foreigner. And yeah, I think it just must be hard to live in another country or even in this country and to, you know, have a different national identity. And I don't know. It's interesting, that kind of concept of being a foreigner. Sometimes it's hard to even like go to other cities. Definitely. There are different cultures. Also, entirely. I miss the way we do things in Portland. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, where can I get a decent cup of coffee? Where can I get a kombucha? Right. When I was in Vegas, I was like, where are your water filling stations? And they were like, we don't drink water. What is that? And I was like, oh my God, okay. I guess you are behind then. That's the other thing too. Like, you never know what the water is going to taste like. And in some places it tastes terrible. It's fucking disgusting in Vegas. Yeah, it is. Most of the deserts, they're nasty water. Like, they just don't. Something about all that lack of water makes the water taste bad. Shocker. Shocker. But at the same time, I kind of want to become a snowbird and like go south in the winter. And that would be so nice. I know. We should get like a place in some so like cool, Terri. You and I will get a place in like Yuma, and
we'll be snowbirds, and then we'll live here half the year, and then we'll go down there the other half.
Would love it.
And then we can hang out with my aunt and uncle and
Obvi.
grandpa.
Yes. Yeah. That'd be
And my
really
old
cool.
coworkers at the Starbucks I worked at.
And just be in the sun, actually get sun for part of the year.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the sun too much though. The winter is hard. Oh yeah. Hi, Amy. Sorry.
Hi, Amy.
She said hi a bit ago. Hi.
Charles says hi too.
Yeah. I want a little bit of sun every day, you know. I want like my 15 minutes.
Would be nice.
But then I don't know.
But then it's like you want your 15 minutes, but do you want also 7 hours in addition to the 15 minutes?
Yeah. And I don't really want that. It's hard.
It's
I whine too much. I feel like being here in Portland too, I get used to whining about it, even though it's like not. When I'll talk to people elsewhere and they'll be like, oh, what's the weather like? And I'm like, oh, it's 45 degrees. And they're like freezing their butts off. And I'm like, and then I remember, I'm like, oh yeah, it's not actually cold here.
Not exactly, yeah.
I mean, I'm cold, but it's rough being on the West Coast, you know, and being so privileged. Oh, Joan Dark is here.
Hello.
That's wild. I knew she'd come back, but I didn't know how. But yeah, anybody have questions for us, want us to talk about? I know it's been a long time since we've been on. I don't even remember the last thing we did. I think it was something about.
Gonna wing it this time.
We talked about I think we did one called prostitution is paid rape or something like that. That was like our last big hurrah.
Was that it though?
I don't know. It was one of those.
Something like that. Yeah,
I still have up the abortion is awesome one.
Yeah,
with our
that one's great.
Silliness. What was it? That was an intense one. But I feel like it needs to be out there, you know, because it's just gives some temperance to the political climate out there. Returning where you'd least expect me, YouTube live stream chats. I know, wow. This modern era is amazing, though. I mean, I remember when you were in Bill and Ted in their Excellent Adventure, but I didn't know when you would come back again. And it turns out that we are the new Bill and Ted.
Look at this. Amazing.
Oh, cool. I may fall asleep in Europe. Oh, you're in Europe. Well, that makes sense. That's where Joan would be.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, Joan of Arc is such a tragic figure.
She's interesting.
Yeah, she is. It sucks. It's like one of those things where it's like this amazing, incredible story, and then it's just like that kind of tragic ending that just kind of makes you slump over.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, what the heck? I love that film. Keanu Reeves liked my acting tips. Yeah, well, I don't think, he never would have became what he did if it weren't for your help.
Obvi.
Keanu.
He's hot. He's so sexy.
He's good looking. Yeah, he's a good looking guy. I don't have a crush on him, but, you know, if he were interested, I would consider it.
Watch out, Keanu.
Watch out, Keanu.
Terry's on the prowl.
I am not on the prowl. But
she's offering
I'm saying like I don't have a crush on him. But you know, he's the kind of guy where he's highly accomplished and he seems like a nice guy and I would give him a chance.
Same.
I mean, he's not bad looking at all. Same. Like he's good looking.
I don't even care if he's 50.
It's preferable to me that, you know, he is 50.
More stable.
Yeah. No, I haven't read The Second Coming of Joan of Arc. Who do I have a crush on? I don't really get crushes on celebrities. Like Maybe Crispin Glover.
I kind of like Josh Hutcherson, but
Who is that?
oh, he's so cute.
Josh Hutcherson.
He was in the Hunger Games.
Oh, is he like
He was Peeta.
Okay. Yeah, he's cute.
He's so cute.
Yeah, I can recognize somebody's attractive, but I don't really get crushes on celebrities.
I like him. I don't really either. I like him because he's more normal looking. Like he's good looking.
Mm-hmm.
And he's obviously in movies and stuff, but he also looks like a normal person, like someone you could meet, like
Boy Next Door vibes.
Yeah, exactly.
I just got one on Nathan Fielder, and I'm confused.
I love Nathan Fielder. He is so great.
Okay.
He's awesome.
I just got reminded that we were fighting over Tom Felton and who was going to get him earlier.
Terry was like, I was just talking about him. Mentioned Tom.
I was
Felton,
like, he's married with a kid, right?
She was like, he's married with a kid, and I was like, no, he ain't. No, he's not. He's single, or I think he had a girlfriend at one point, but.
Well, I don't know. Apparently, Tom Felton is available.
And Terry was like, oh, so I could still get him. And I was like, gonna have to go through me first. So we'll see about that.
And then we sang a little bit of The Boy Is Mine by Monica and Brandy. Because we're goofballs, obviously. He's a genius. I'm not joking. The rehearsal changed how I approach my clowning, and I've become a much better performer.
Okay.
I don't know who this guy is.
I'll tell you about him. So Nathan Fielder, he's actually Canadian, but he
Okay, that's a negative point.
I said it. So he did this really goofy show called Nathan For You, and he got kind of some recognition from that. He's so deadpan. It's kind of almost to the point of being disconcerting. But then he did this show called The Rehearsal, where he would have people like do things they think they wanted. Like there was this woman who thought she wanted to be married and have kids in like a house. So they like had her live as if she was living in this house and like with a partner and with a kid, even though she didn't have, like the kid wasn't hers. It was just an interesting approach. I think the person, like, I didn't watch it though, but I thought it sounded interesting. I think Joan Dark would be able to tell you more about it. But he's an interesting guy.
Yeah, I can't picture him right now. I might know who he is if I saw him.
He's not really memorable looking.
I like his name. He's got a good name. He has a star name.
He does.
Donald is happy to see us. Although
Hi.
Donald spelled my name wrong. It's with an I.
I gotta know, why do people spell my name wrong?
Yeah.
People spell my name Lia.
Oh.
I've also had people spell it Leigha. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Kiara thinks that Nathan Fielder is
hilarious. Had people spell it just Lea. I'm like, no, I actually spell it like a normal person.
Yeah. Well, that sounds interesting. That sounds funny. I do like that kind of thing. So, are you a clown, Joan of Arc? You said you do it with your clowning. That was like a dream career of mine, was to become a clown, but I think it's too physical for me at this point in my life. So now I just have to content myself with being a troll.
I didn't know you wanted to become a clown.
Yeah, that was one of my dream jobs as a child.
Cool.
Mime or clown.
I didn't want to be a clown, but I was interested in being like a gymnast, like a contortionist, that kind of thing.
We could have been street performers together.
It could have happened.
We could still.
Hey.
We could get a bullhorn and
it's entirely possible.
We could be like the guy with the sign, the Canadian guy with the sign that goes around wearing the sign. Yeah.
And he's just like,
I mean, he's from like Vancouver area, so he's not proper Canadian as far as I understand.
He's not
deep Canadian. He's not from Newfoundland or anything.
Oh my word.
Shout out to the Newfies in the chat. So she is a clown. That's rad, girl. Go get it. Living your best clown life. I did a course of Buffon and satirizing bastards, and I want to do a clown version of the sex posy feminist. But will I upset people? Upset the wrong people? It's a tightrope I can't quite walk.
You will upset people, and that's the point.
I mean, yeah, there's no way to do satire without offending people. And like most people don't even get satire nowadays. Like it's so. I was telling you earlier about like made a trolly like comment, and like this admin came to me and I said like later, I'm like, yeah, people got really offended and were like like tearing into me about it. I was like, y'all, I was making a joke.
It was clearly a joke.
It was clearly a joke. I mean, maybe it wasn't clearly a joke, but like I wouldn't assume that it wasn't a joke if I saw it. But the admin came on and was like, oh, well, next time just do a like / sarcasm before you post something. And I was like, you can't tell people ahead of time that you're being sarcastic. That ruins it. Exactly. Well, I mean, I don't know. Like this.
I mean, try it out. You don't have to perform it in front of other people.
Upset.
You can just try it out at home and see how it goes. You should also take a video of yourself doing it and then critique your own performance. You wouldn't even have to perform in front of anyone.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like
at first, just to try it out.
If your sexual trauma is like that easily triggered, like, I don't know. I mean, with some women it is, but like, obviously you don't want to trigger them, but sometimes it's like, it's just a fact of life.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to trigger people and you have to just deal.
Yep, that's true. There's just no getting around it.
Especially if you're a clown. I mean, clowns evoke like reactions in people that are, the art of it is to like bring out the true emotions in people in a lot of ways.
Right.
You're there trying to entice how they truly feel about something. And, this is the thing about triggering people and what I've had to learn in my journey. People are going to get triggered and it's about them. It's not about you.
That's absolutely true.
It's not about you at all. If people get triggered, it's not about you.
Yeah, they're going to get triggered, like, no matter what you do or say. Like, even if you're not even trying to at all, people are still going to get triggered. And it's definitely, like Terry said, it's not about you. It's their problem that they're projecting onto you. Yeah,
oftentimes they don't want to take responsibility for dealing with it, so they make the person who triggered them the problem. I don't like dealing with that though, so I understand wanting to avoid it altogether because it's like a pain.
It's a pain for sure.
It's a real pain. And I'm like, I don't have the patience for it anymore that I did, and I don't have the sympathy anymore that I used to, because now I'm just like, see through people more. Like, go wipe your own butt. I sit through so many cabaret sets sexualizing violence and no one complains about that. I got a complaint to the manager for my performance. Yeah, exactly. Like, nobody's triggered by that, right? I don't know. I think making fun of morons is always a good idea.
Yeah, me too. Hey, boo-hoo. I feel like that happened to me recently. I feel
sex positives.
Some stupid, I don't remember though. Something goofy I was doing and someone was like, I
can't with the sex positives. How are you going to be sex positive in 2023?
I mean, it's really just like, they shouldn't even call it sex positive. They should call it pro hookup culture. It's a lot of things. It's too many things to put in a word phrase like sex positive. Like,
yeah, it's more like,
more like blatant and overt and in your face, like sexual behaviors.
You remember when we went to that crow thing, like you left a little early.
Yeah, because I wasn't feeling it.
Well, did I tell you about the last thing was this lady doing. She was doing a burlesque performance, and I thought it was just going to be a dance, but like all of a sudden she starts stripping, and I saw her butt hanging out, and I was like, okay, I'm out of here. Like I just wheeled out of there. I was like, I thought it was just going to be like a nice.
Yeah, like a
dance.
Normal, like dance, like nothing. Not
but
like
no, she had to get
removing clothing.
She had to, yeah. Well, I mean, and even removing a little clothing is fine, but like when your whole butt is out, and it was in the mall.
I don't want to see that. Thanks.
It was in the mall, like
not interested,
and not a nice mall either. The Lloyd Center. If I'm gonna get naked at a mall, it's not gonna be the Lloyd Center. I am clearly Washington Square nudie gal. I'm not. I wouldn't get naked in public anyway. No, I'm not. Clackamas is not. Mm-mm. No, I'd have to be out in some place like Tigard.
That's totally
in the mall.
What language is this?
I saw. That's French.
Oh, no, it's
Le Pendu. The bees, the bees are supposed to be used, yeah. Yep, in the mall. I saw a guy strip on stage and then pull a blunt out of his butt and smoke it. Ew. A dirty blunt. That's nasty.
That's fucking gross.
That's so nasty.
That's really sick.
What the? Merry Christmas. Play it so fast. Merry Christmas to you and a Happy New Year. Yeah.
Happy New Year.
That's queer cabaret for you. That's queer as in odd.
Yeah.
But the gigs pay well. Well, hey, you know. That is so lame. Like, pull a blunt out of your butt and smoke it. What is the world coming to?
Doing that to be shocking and not in a good way either. It's just like a party trick, essentially.
Your butt is not an extra pocket, people.
No. So
you're not supposed to be putting things in there and just letting them hang out in there.
Yeah.
That's not what it's for.
Yucca.
And like, how do you prepare for that? Like, I'm having all kinds of questions come up that I don't need to ask. Degeneracy everywhere. Degeneracy.
Definitely degenerate AF.
Do you remember that girl that we met at the John Waters thing that came up and got a cigarette? And she was like, I want to cut my boobies off. And we're like, interesting.
We just met you.
Yeah.
I don't even know your
name,
dude, but you're like,
I was like,
talk about
man, I don't ever want to cut mine off. They're great.
No, fuck no, dude. Never.
These things are awesome.
Mine are also the best.
I love my girls.
I never want them to go
anywhere. No, they're my friends. But yeah, she was, well, I follow her on Instagram anyway. She does performance, but it's so weird because she uses her boobs in her performance.
Oh, you ended up
like
following her?
Yeah, I follow her on Instagram. She posts, she does cabaret herself, but like she wears this like black mask over her face and like her arms. And then she has her like Raggedy Ann face on her torso, and her boobs are like part of the costume. I'll have to show it to you. It's like crazy.
What you're about. Well, maybe she changed her mind. Let's
yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, for a while anyway.
Yeah.
These tiffs make me so sad. I'm friends with so many. I despair. It is despairing, but I don't even think she's a tiff. I think she's just an NB. I can't with these NBs. Like, women. And they always want to like cut their boobies off, but they don't want to be like a trans man because they know that's going to be tragic, but they like don't want their boobs because they're morons.
Like they don't want their breasts because they're too feminine, but they like won't get hardly any other surgeries. Like, it doesn't make
It's
sense.
weird. It's
really
weird.
Strange. Like, they basically get their breasts removed to be like better NBs. I'm like, but if all gender is just imaginary, then why do you need physical proof? Why do you need to do this physical act? Like,
yeah, I mean, like, if you're not naturally non-binary looking, then you might not be non-binary. If you don't have tiny titties, you might not be cut out for the non-binary life,
exactly.
honey.
Oh my god.
Maybe you're not actually androgynous. Maybe you're really womanly.
That shit is crazy. I cannot believe the shit these children talk about these days.
That's wild. I just couldn't believe that woman came up to us and just was like so openly hating on her body while bumming a cigarette.
It's a weird thing that women do is like they try to like bond with each other.
Yeah, like
with bull like that. And it's just very strange to me. It always has been. I've never understood it.
We should have been bonding over seeing John Waters.
Right.
What was last Christmas, wasn't it? Because it was our Christmas special.
Yes.
I can't believe it's been a year since we went to see John Waters.
Time moves quickly.
I looked hot that night too, and we got that Thai food, and I got that nasty tofu.
Ew. I wouldn't order tofu.
I was feeling it, but then it was really weirdly fried. I was like, take me back, get a little bit of that chewy tofu-y thing, and then it was like nasty. Yuck. Couldn't finish it. But my outfit was on point. And that's when I found out Natalie Merchant was playing in town, and I didn't go see her anyway. So, alas, they're talking. Okay. I used TIFF for NB women and trans men women. I'm waiting for it to come crashing down. I use the right words for them to listen, and they always agree. Yeah, if you use the right words, but you have to compromise by using their language. Sorry, I practice radical body positivity and don't tolerate negative self-talk around me and engaging in the capitalist cosmetic surgery industry.
That's good.
Yeah, I remember though there was years ago what magazine was it? Adbusters. Was it Adbusters?
Probably.
No, it wasn't Adbusters.
Juxtapose?
No. It wasn't a magazine like that. It was
Advocate?
No, it wasn't a magazine like that. It wasn't like a big magazine like that. It was Crime Think.
Okay, I don't know them.
Crime Think published this piece. It was like an image that said plastic surgery is self-imposed or harm or something like that. Yeah. So it says something like that, and then like people got an uproar about it, but not because they got an uproar about it because trans people need plastic surgery, they were saying. Right. And trans people are victims of like the toxic beauty culture and like the pressure to conform to gender stereotypes. And it was just like, okay, guess who's pressured to conform to beauty stereotypes and gendered expectations? Guess what sex? Women, maybe women also get plastic surgery for those reasons. But like, okay. But they weren't defending it. They weren't like, oh no. They were just saying trans people have to get this, and like they not thinking that like, and it was a big diatribe about like, you know, how trans people need to do this so they can work. And it's like, well, a lot of women get plastic surgery so that they can work as well. And like,
right. Well, okay, but I mean, with that same logic, when people are like, oh, trans people, they just feel so bad about how they look and they need these surgeries so much. It's like, okay, we are living in the society that makes them hate themselves that much. Is that good? Like, we're responsible for the society that we live in, and it's causing them to have this extreme discomfort.
But this is the thing, society doesn't cause them to have that discomfort.
No.
Everybody wants to like make society change so that they can be comfortable instead of realizing that like if they just worked on themselves, they'd be more comfortable.
They figured it
You know,
out
like,
on their own. Yeah.
You could do the really hard work of trying to change everyone around you, or you could work on one person. What do you choose? I know, I'm going to struggle against everybody. That'll be, that'll get me where I want to go in life real quick.
One person who you have direct access to all of the time. Could work on you.
Mm-hmm. Amy is pro breasts. Heck yeah.
Good.
They're great. I mean, they're great.
We need them.
We love them. They feed the world.
No reason. They're there for many reasons.
Yeah, and plus they're cute.
So cute.
Even if they don't, function to feed or nurture, like they're just cute. I love mine. I got uninvited from performing multiple nights. I was told I couldn't mention anti-makeup cosmetic surgery stuff in my performances. Trans people need that to express identity. Man, I can't believe this stuff has taken off in Europe as bad as it has a couple of years ago.
It's Americans' fault.
We have to import our culture.
Apparently so.
Being anti-cosmetic surgery is what led me down seeing trans as the sham it is. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
We're tired. We're
tired of it. Yeah.
So tired of it. So tired of talking about it. So tired of it existing.
But we're going to keep talking about it.
We're going to keep.
Because it's going to keep coming up.
It does keep coming up.
It's like, I'd love to move on, but it just keeps coming up. And like, even though it's gotten more normal to be critical of it, it's like, what is this? I love America. What are you talking about?
It's a bot.
Speaking of boobs, dang.
That's fucking
Do you think those are
disgusting.
fake?
That's an
Mine are better.
Obviously, because yours are real.
They're real, yeah. And I take MSM. I love America. I am so patriotic. Jeez. I'm offended. America's the best country on earth.
It was our fault for exporting that bull to Europe.
Yeah. Americans import our culture for better and for worse.
Yep.
And you know what? Even so, I would rather live here than anywhere else.
Same.
I've been to other countries. Not many, but I've seen enough.
I've been to quite a few.
I don't want to live in Europe. I know no, God, I couldn't deal with it. Like,
I want to. I'm not European.
I'm not. No, and I don't even like them that much either. They're so rude. They're all negative too. Like they can't handle the American positivity.
No, they can't. That's like a real problem for them.
They're like, oh, you have optimism. Oh, you believe that you can do things. You believe in yourself. That's really toxic.
Gross.
I'm just going to smoke grass and pretend I hate capitalism all day.
Like drink alcohol.
Yeah, that too. Joan Dark does hate America. That's why you're in Europe. Okay, well, girl, do your thing.
You don't hate America.
How can you hate America?
You don't hate America. That's such a sweeping statement. I would never say I hate France or something fucking crazy like that. That is insane.
No.
But I see what you're trying to say.
I love France, actually.
I do like France, but the French can be real uptight.
They are a bit uptight. I like the French, though. I mean, they're interesting people. They're very,
obviously,
not all of them, obviously.
Because I speak French, so why wouldn't I like them?
I only speak a little.
I'm just saying, in general, when you say something like, I hate this country, it's pretty extreme. Though that's like a bonding thing for the French. They love to talk about how much they hate the U.S.
Oh, I hate Americans. They're so fat.
Meanwhile, y'all smoke.
I'm like, y'all
cigarettes.
smoke and eat dinner at 10 o'clock at night. How do they even do that? Like, how do you go to bed? Like, when do you go to bed? How do you sleep with a full stomach like that? Like, I'll live in tiny ass apartments that you have to walk up 3 flights of tiny stairs to get into.
No elevator.
Yeah, and
couldn't even have a
no
piano.
air conditioning.
I couldn't have a piano there.
No air con, and they're like, come on, it's rules in America. Come on, we got air con everywhere.
AC, we've got elevators.
We got fast food everywhere.
Yes.
Anytime
Yes,
I want to, I don't have to eat steak with my frites. I can have a burger with my frites.
Like a real American.
Yeah. And not that I could never drink soda, burger, and fries. That would be too much. You can only have 2 in a meal, I feel, No HVAC over there. You can keep your castles.
What is HVAC?
I think that's just another term for AC.
Oh, okay.
High voltage air conditioning, I think.
We just call it AC.
I've never been there. I know very little. Yeah, we have racism, but it's different to the USA. And that's another thing I hate about the Europeans. They're always like, racism is different here. I'm like, is it though?
Right.
Is it though? Muhammad, you've never been here before. Why would I put you on?
Yeah, we don't know you.
What do you want to talk about? Why do you want to come on?
No,
give us a reason.
He wants to come on.
Oh, hi, Weird Beatnik. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yes, I'm happy to see you because I need high quality distraction.
Sorry to hear that, Amy.
It's Christmas. We're here to distract. Thank God. Yeah, all the people have to be with their families. It's different, but it's just as bad. That's the bit Europeans don't want to admit. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just remember like years ago, like being in international like feminist pages. Anytime there was like some weird racist thing that would come up, where a woman was being racist, and then a woman of color would be like, don't talk to me like that. The Europeans would be like, how dare you accuse me? You Americans are so racism obsessed. And I'd be like, we don't have racism like you do. And like, I'd be like, girl.
Yeah, it sounds pretty.
Extreme. Yes, you are right. You are correct. I love cheesecake.
Wish I had cheesecake right now.
Thank you for putting my on screen, made my week. Oh, that's what you meant. You wanted to be.
You just wanted to be up there. Okay. Well, you're welcome.
You're welcome. I'm trapped with my non-binary sister. Oh God.
Tell her to stop.
Cheesecake is the best.
Stop being non-binary. That's what I do to the vegans.
My New Year's revolution. Hell yeah. New Year's, fuck the resolutions. We're going for revolutions this year. Stop looking up to so-called heroes, musicians, and just be my own person. You mean like, okay, stop putting musicians you listen to as like your heroes? Because I don't know, I still idolize the musicians I listen to. Some of them anyway. Trying to think of an example. Like sometimes, music is powerful. Morrissey is like one of my heroes, obviously, and he always will be. I will idolize him forever.
He's great.
He's great. For a vegan, he has, yeah.
But I
love him anyway.
Of course, we love him anyway.
I love him. I love, he is who he is. I love him. I will always love him. And people say bad things about him. I hurt.
I love hearing you talk about him.
I could go on about Morrissey.
I love it.
I need to do a video about Morrissey.
That's how I feel about Brandon Flowers.
There we go. Brandon Flowers.
He's the guy. It's him. He's so great. He's so talented. He's so fun. He's so interesting. He's American. Like, I could go on. He's more like boring.
Yep. I saw that. What's boring about him? He's got
just
heart.
Trying to get your goat.
That's BS. Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the absent referent. More like boring. Okay, let's just go off of this for a minute. Let's just rap about this. Okay, he isn't boring. All right. He's a cancer survivor.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had throat cancer several years ago. And you know what? His voice is even better now.
Wow.
Even being vegan, he fought cancer and won.
Wow.
And you know what? He loves his fans.
He loves his fans.
He cancels his shows a lot, but I think it's funny.
I was going to say, I think it's good to cancel shows because a lot of the time people don't cancel shows when they like actually really need to.
Yeah,
so
I know.
It's better to cancel shows when you know it's better for you than to like really hurt yourself.
He also, he takes care of
shows, like.
But he kind of does it trolly though, because like he'll cancel. Yeah, he does. He'll cancel. He'll be like on stage and cancel too. Like he was getting all this S word last year because he was on stage somewhere in California. It was really cold, and he and his band couldn't perform, and he had like band members who were recovering from colds, and like people were like, oh, he couldn't make it, he couldn't do it, he couldn't tough it out. And I'm like, he's in his 60s, he's a cancer survivor, and these were people that were like during the pandemic being total like fascists. So it's just like, how effing dare you actually like criticize him for putting the health of him and his bandmates first. And it's also like he refunded the tickets,
of course,
and he was gonna come back. Like, it's just, they find any little BS reason that they can to just shit on him, and it's lies. Oh, here we go. Beatnik is talking about, I think what I'm talking about is stop looking up to tortured souls like Jim Morrison or Kurt Cobain. Yeah, you shouldn't look up to people like that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not even, don't look up to drug addicts.
Yeah, facts.
I do like Jim Morrison, though. It's not like I don't like Kurt Cobain either, but he's just too big. Don't idolize people that everybody else is idolizing.
Right.
That's the thing. It's like Kurt is just so idolized. It's also, like he's too big.
You don't want to. People do distract themselves by looking up things about other people and learning about other people when you, like you said, weird beatnik, you could just be doing your own thing.
Find more niche people to be obsessed with too, is my thing. Like, idolize who's not being idolized. What is your opinion, or what's your option? I guess they mean opinion of Yusuf Azim. Do you know who that is?
Don't know that.
Who is that?
That name sounds familiar, but it's not. Really
Yusuf
Azim. Yeah, it sounds familiar. I don't know who that is though.
Should we look it up? It sounds important. That's an Arabic sounding name.
Yeah, I've definitely.
What if it's something political? And now I've been
before.
Outed as like an idiot who doesn't pay attention.
Before, but I don't know where he's.
I have no idea who that is. You're gonna have to explain who that is. I love the Doors too. It's great music. He used to work with Nirvana. Yeah, no, then I have no opinion.
Yusuf Azim did?
Yeah, I guess. That's what.
Okay, yeah, I don't. Sorry, I don't know who that is.
Since you love cheesecake, you know what? I've seen that Golden Girls episode. I have not watched enough Golden Girls to know which one I am.
Neither have I. Couldn't tell you.
Sophia's like the old lady from Italy, right? Blanche is like the sexy one, right? Then Rose is the one that's kind of dumb. But what's the Dorothy? Dorothy, is that the other one? The one that's played by Bay Arthur? Is that the one? I feel like I'd probably be her, honestly. They are both Bay Arthur. Ouch. I feel like I'm a combination of all of them. I don't know.
Yeah, we'd probably have to take a quiz.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, just I haven't watched enough Golden Girls to know.
Neither have I.
And I feel like from what I've seen, I have characteristics of all of them. Like I feel like I have characteristics of all of them. It's hard to say.
Amy Ferguson, I never really watched that show, but they did a parody of the of the theme song on Family Guy, and there's a dog in my neighborhood called Maud, and I sing the song to her when I meet her.
I have seen a couple of episodes of Maud. I saw an episode where there was like a borrowed brooch, and it ended up in this woman in a casket, like, and they went in and stole it.
Oh my gosh. That's fun. That sounds like a sitcom.
Yeah, it was very hilarious.
And then there's Maud.
I mean, from what I understand, it was like a groundbreaking, like, feminist 70s show. They had all kinds of things, like they dealt with abortion, and because she was like in her late 40s and she found out she was pregnant. The main character, she was like 48 or something, and she was like, "We gonna do this?" But I don't know, like, I guess, yeah. So she was talking to her adult daughter about it. I don't know. Maud had the first TV abortion.
Good
okay,
for
so
Maud.
she did have an
Thank
abortion.
you, Maud. Good
Oh
work.
my. The drama. Everyone's celebrating. What a chat. Okay, so man, I don't know anything about the Youssef guy. Yeah, I mean, like, I liked Nirvana when I was younger. I had their albums.
You can't really escape them here. They play their music all the time.
When you're in the Pacific Northwest.
They're from here, so
yeah,
we don't forget.
Kurt lives forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole scene, I don't know, like, apparently, well, I don't want to get into all that stuff, but like Courtney Love came down in Portland a number of times. She like hung out in the scene here as well. Like, Norman Lear just died.
Who's that?
Exactly.
Sounds familiar.
He's like, I think he was a writer on these shows. Like, I think that's who he was, but Em would know better.
Rest in peace, Norman Lear.
Yeah, I like the name Norman. Norman Lear was groundbreaking. I love that we have an intergenerational chat here.
Me too.
We've got the Zoomers, we've got the Xers, we've got us, the Millennials. All in the Family was great too. I think I was talking with someone about All in the Family recently. That's the show with Archie Bunker, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, 70s TV, we just missed out. Did you guys watch Good Times? We are millennials.
Good Times.
No, I did not watch Good Times.
I've seen a few episodes.
No, like that was before my time.
Yeah, that was definitely on reruns by the time we were
Let's
kids.
see. When I was growing up, what were my favorite shows? I have to think about this. The Simpsons, obviously. The Simpsons, which also takes place in Portland. Yeah, The Simpsons was big for me.
I liked Boy Meets World.
Oh yeah, Boy Meets World.
That was in reruns by the time that I was like a tween, but
yeah, Roseanne.
They played them in real time, so I did get to experience it.
Roseanne was a fave. What else? Wishbone from PBS. What's the story? Wishbone.
I used to watch that every day after school.
love Wishbone.
I love Wishbone too.
What was that little boy's name on the show? Nobody cared. We just wanted to see the dog get in costume.
Was it Josh?
Josh. It's something with a J. Some stupid J kid. I wonder where he's at. He's probably,
Yeah, good luck, Josh.
Wherever you are. I'm trying to think of other shows I liked as a kid. Talked about what is that? Married with Children was one I liked as a kid. Love and marriage
go together
like a horse and carriage.
Bet you something,
Brother, You can't have one without the other. Oh, you like Doug? Yeah, Doug was good.
I love Doug.
Yeah, Doug
Doug's
is
a
good.
great one.
Daria, yeah. Oh, Daria, bring it back.
Obs.
Yeah.
People
I'm trying to think. King of the Hill was one I liked as a kid. I mean, as a kid, I was like a teenager when it was out, but yeah, King of the Hill, still a favorite.
I watched Sesame Street.
Yeah, Sesame Street was good.
Amy,
who's your favorite puppet on Sesame Street?
Oh, let me think. Snuffleupagus.
Girl, that's my favorite too. Snuffy with the big lashes.
So cute.
Yes, Snuffy.
So cute. I like Grover too. I almost said Grover, but I also like Cookie Monster. I like. Oh, do you remember Wormy?
Yes, little Wormy.
Love
so
Wormy.
Cute.
Love Big Bird. They're all great.
Yeah, Big Bird is second fave, I think. It's Snuffy and Big Bird, when they come out, it's like you know it's going down.
Yeah.
Yeah, King of the Hill has so much heart. It really does. It's like one of those shows that just like sticks to you. It's so good. Yeah, I like Beavis and Butthead, but I didn't watch it much as a kid. I mean, I remember going to see Beavis and Butthead Do America in theaters, and that was like amazing.
I wasn't ever really into it either, Weird Beatnik. It kind of missed me completely.
I still find them funny. I don't know.
They're funny.
Like, they're kind of relatable in these weird ways. Like, I think I look at them and I'm like, they really express how I feel in a lot of situations, like working or like going to school. Like, they're just like, this sucks. They're like the ultimate, like, Gen X, I feel, like teenager kind of, that I remember looking at in the culture. They kind of had that cynical, just everything sucks kind of attitude that I think that encapsulated that generation.
The voice actors used to do like commentary on music videos with Beavis and Butthead voices. I used to watch that as a kid.
Yeah, that was cool. I like the Beavis and Butthead over the music videos. Now I'm trying to think of like pop-up video on VH1.
And that was a lot of fun.
Pop-up video.
I loved that. I watched that a lot. I
know all kinds of facts about different people just because of pop-up video. Like, I know more about Sheryl Crow than I need to.
Yes, we had cable in at my house. We had cable, yeah.
We would get it on and off. Like, we would have it for a while and then we wouldn't. So, I'm gonna surprise you all though too. Like, I spent a lot of time reading as a kid. Like, I earned my class a lot of pizzas. So on the weekends, like, I'd watch TV after school, but then on the weekends I'd be reading and getting my reading hours in so that I could get us some pizzas. I remember some punk ass kid being like, "You didn't read that much," because like one weekend I read 13 hours, but I did.
Wow.
No way you read that much. No. I'm like, shut up. Just because you didn't read it all.
Right, you didn't read it all.
Like, and when you're a kid, it's easy to read that much.
It is.
Especially in the 90s.
For real.
Now it's impossible because I have the internet and my phone. So
yeah, exactly.
I can't read that much even if I wanted to.
You can't have one without the other.
Okay. Michael Jackson was the first Black person to appear. We love Michael Jackson.
We love him.
We don't care what you have to say about Michael Jackson.
We don't care.
I'll defend him to the death.
I love him so much.
I love him too. I miss him every day.
I do too. I think about him all the time. Well, not all the time, but he's in my playlist that I play all the time.
I listen to him all the time, yeah.
I listen to him. I love his videos. His videos are fire.
Nobody could dance like Michael.
No one.
Nobody could sing like Michael.
Miss him.
We miss him so much.
So much. We think about him. R.I.P.
Miss you, Michael. We know you're in heaven looking down on us.
Oh my God, I'm getting emotional.
I know. It's sad. I miss him.
So sad.
Oh, Amy was on a city bus. heard Thriller the first time on a boombox.
That's so cool, Amy.
I wish I could
so
go back in
amazing.
time and experience something like that.
Me too.
That's like a moment,
It
you know.
is.
Do 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 do.
But that's not Thriller.
No, but it's on the Thriller
This is
album.
Thriller night. I've played Thriller on organ before.
Oh, that must have been
That's
fun.
an experience.
Do do.
Hell yeah.
Do do.
It's
do.
really cool.
So
So awesome.
Album like totally is just
Album's fire.
amazing. It's a perfect album.
I have it. I have a first edition record of that album of Thriller.
It's a perfect album.
It is.
There's like just those albums that are like classics, and it was a classic immediately. Like, I just love those kind of albums.
Me
They
too.
come out and it's just like, this album will forever be iconic and will be timeless. And
Forever.
yeah. Well, I haven't read Howl by Allen Ginsberg, honestly.
I haven't either. Actually, you know what? I did read it, but I don't remember it very well. It was a long time ago.
I saw the best minds of my generation on Twitter. Tweeting on Adderall.
Yep, tweeting on Adderall.
God, that sounds so depressing. I'm so glad I'm off of Twitter.
I'm so glad I don't take Adderall.
Yeah, same.
Praise be to God.
Imagine being on Twitter and Adderall.
I don't want to.
Ugh, my
I don't
heart's
even
just
wanna
racing
imagine
thinking
it.
about it.
Gross.
But yeah, I haven't read the book. I can't give you an opinion, but I'm sure, I mean, Allen Ginsberg's classic. I mean, separate the art from the artist. I think a lot of people can't really do that. And it's unfortunate.
It's
like,
annoying.
He was a jerk. Okay. Well, what do you think of his work anyway?
Right.
I'm a fan of many problematic artists, filmmakers,
Sure.
films.
No one's perfect. The thing is that no one is perfect, and you will, if you dig hard enough, you will find fault with literally everyone. And it's just more like easily exploitable if the person is known for doing a certain thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like it's okay to like a person's art and, have like maybe issues with the individual who made it.
Picasso was a total deadbeat.
Yeah.
Like he was a
creep.
Good guy.
Yeah, he was a creep.
He made good art. Like,
yeah, don't diminish, that's the thing. Like, I feel like you shouldn't diminish people's gifts just because they may be pieces of doo-doo.
Exactly.
I think that's the thing. And we in this culture often like try to trash people and like, oh, you can't consume their art. Like, but I feel like people would be bereft if they didn't expose themselves to certain like things. Like,
that's
how are you
true.
like, especially a lot of filmmakers are like R-worders and chimos, Yeah, exactly. Me too, Amy. I love Woody Allen's work. Love it. Like, he has so many films that just like rip my heart out. Like, incredible films. But if, I'd love to punch him in the face.
Also.
Like, at the same time, I'd really like to punch him in the face. He is a genius, though, and I will not diminish his genius.
I talked to him on the phone one time, Woody Allen.
Oh my God, girl. Shut up.
It wasn't that exciting, honestly.
I'm excited.
Luckily, I didn't know it was him, so I wasn't able to, lose my words. But I used to work for his.
How do you not know it's Woody Allen? I mean, he talks like this.
I figured out it was him.
I'm just calling because I need to speak to someone. I gotta.
That's exactly how he. That is exactly how he talks. But he called and he asked to be connected to his manager, so I did. And then if the manager wouldn't answer, then the phone call would come back to me. So I just answered again, and I was like, "Did your phone call just get returned back here?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay, can I take a message?" And he said, "Sure. Can you tell him Woody Allen called?" And I was like, "Yes."
No problem.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, Leah had a cool job. Who else
No,
didn't you
even
like?
a job.
Didn't you
I
like
was
speak
being
to?
exploited by
Didn't
my
you speak
labor.
to Robin Williams too?
I spoke to him, yeah.
Robin Williams.
We had a
and Woody Allen
chat
in the same lifetime.
In the same lifetime.
Rest in peace, Robin. You moist-eyed camera hog.
We miss him. I miss him.
I miss him too.
I think he was kind of sick though. I think that's
yeah.
why
He wasn't. He had some
that's
problems.
why he offed himself, which sucks. But
I know people don't often talk about that with suicide, but sometimes people kill themselves because they're facing down like chronic, serious.
They can either die quickly by their own hand or die very slowly and painfully naturally. So
and both suck and both are awful.
Right.
So yeah, it's hard. Manhattan was such a self-report. Yeah, Manhattan was. It's when you look at it now in retrospect of everything that happened, you're like creepy. But I can like watch his work, a lot of it, like many of his films give me pedo vibes, just watching them. Hannah and Her Sisters is one. Even Radio Days. I only watched that in the past few years, but I'm like watching it, I'm like, this is beautiful. It's beautiful, but he does give me pedophile vibes. But you know what? I still like his work, and I still think, God, Mia Farrow, she was in so many of his films. It's just tragic what happened because she's such a beautiful woman, like inside and out. And she's just been like, she's gone through it, man. She has had the worst husbands. Like,
sucks.
For me, I'm like, what do I see in the art? Picasso works is not obviously sexist to me. Stephen King, though, I stopped after 2.1 books. I haven't really read any Stephen King. Isn't that weird?
I've read a little bit of Stephen King. He's very flowery in his writing, seriousness.
I know he's crazy on Twitter.
He's very, 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 he embellishes a lot. He does a lot of he does and he doesn't, because I've read books where he does that and he doesn't do that. But he writes a lot of words when there's not a lot of meaning behind it, is what I mean to say.
Okay.
Frequently. And it's like, but sometimes he writes a lot of words and there is meaning behind it. So it's, I don't know.
Hit or miss.
Hit or miss.
It's just his style, and sometimes it works and sometimes it sucks.
Yeah.
I guess I haven't read, so I have no interest in reading a Stephen King novel. They're all made into movies anyway.
I read Carrie.
Really?
And that one was pretty good. And then I read the short story that Sam by Me was based on. I tried to read The Shining, couldn't do it. I tried to read Needful Things, also couldn't do it. So I kind of gave up on the.
I know people always go off about it and like how it's like creepy or something. I'm just like, whatever.
I like the 90s It.
Yeah, I love Tim Curry's It.
So good.
Anything with Tim Curry in it is perfect.
Awesome.
We love you, Tim Curry. Is he a Sagittarius? I think actually I found out he's an Aries.
He looks like a Sagittarius.
I know. He's definitely a fire sign.
I was Carrie for Halloween one time, Amy. I bought a prom dress in fake blood and I put it all over myself.
Everyone's feeling bad for Mia Farrow. Yeah. God, she's just, she's been through it, man. And she's just, you could tell like how fascinated he was with her as a muse, like the number of films she's in. And she kind of has that childlike quality to her as well. Oftentimes pedophiles are attracted to those kind of women that are kind of like just childlike in some way because, but she's got such a strong spirit as well. I feel for her. She's just been through it. I think, more than anything, I don't know. How could he hurt her like that? She's so innocent. I don't know. Obviously, she's a human being. She's not, but it's just, it hurts me that anyone would hurt Mia Farrow because you just think like, God, she's such a doll. I don't know.
Total doll.
Merry Christmas, honey. Merry Christmas. It is hate propaganda towards me and my clown brethren. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Clown oppression.
Clown oppression is real.
Joan, did you ever watch Lil Lunchbox?
Yeah, are you familiar with Lil Lunchbox? She lives in Sweden now.
I don't know if she's still doing the clown thing though.
She is.
Oh, she is. Okay.
She's back with Robin.
I know.
Clobbin. Her husband. And they have a son now, aka a dog.
Oh, the dog. Okay.
What? Yeah, I can't. Like Robin could get a woman pregnant. Come on.
She said it.
He's so beta.
She said
he shoots blanks 100%. Like, because let me tell you, she looks very fertile to me, and he looks very infertile to me. I'm just gonna say that. Like, he could not put a clown in her belly.
Remember when you were perturbed with me for asking if because I asked if you thought Christian Bale was circumcised. But now you say this about Clobbin. So
yeah,
we're even.
Okay. Are you perturbed?
No, I just didn't think you were gonna say that. That's all. I didn't expect it.
He looks very infertile. I'm just gonna say that. Like, Merry Christmas, hi teal woman here.
Hello.
I know. I hate that. Okay, we both have pets.
Mm-hmm.
You have 3 pets.
I have 3 pets.
I have 1 beautiful cat. You have 2 beautiful cats and a dog.
And a doggo.
A beautiful doggo. Shout out to Chekhov.
He love you.
They are not our children. They are not surrogate. I mean, sometimes I'll call him my son as a joke, but he's not my kid. I hate the idea of pet moms and people like on Mother's Day, people like wishing you a happy Mother's Day over your pet. It's not a child. Like, I mean,
people thinking of their dogs as children is really a problem because
cluck the claters.
Yeah. The clap style's not going anywhere.
Okay, so she knows about Little Lunchbox. Yes.
Good.
I love her. She's wild.
I wish she would make more vids again.
I know. Well, she does. She hasn't really done any, actually. She's been on YouTube, or not YouTube, Facebook, but she hasn't done anything.
Yeah. Oh, well, I was going to say it's a problem in dog training. When I
didn't know there were clown fetishes.
That doesn't surprise me.
I mean, there's a fetish for anything. There's a fetish for it. You know, you're going to find somebody. Rules. My children would never have hair on their bodies from head to toe. Oh, you mean like dogs? I was like, what? You going to shave them? But now I understand. Yeah, no, it's weird when people like I love my cat. I love him so much. He means the world to me. But he is not a human. I did not carry him in my womb. I did not give birth to him. I'm not responsible for raising him and turning him into a functioning member of society. He is a cat.
He's staying in the apartment.
Sometimes he runs out in the hallway and then has regrets. He's not going to get a job. He's not going to go to college.
Right.
He's not going to get married. He can't even have kids.
True. No, my pets are sterilized too. Can't do it.
Yeah, I think we have a problem in our culture where people see having a pet as like in any way the same as having a kid. And that also is disturbing because having a kid is not like having a pet.
No.
It's a human being. There's another person.
A lot of people have that backwards too. Like they think they can treat their kid like a cat or a dog.
Yeah, that's true.
Put as much effort into their kid as a pet, and it's like, no. Well, we've definitely. I thought we might have to respond to some stuff, but hey, we've got a lively chat. That we could.
So yeah, I think we're gonna. Why don't we watch one of the things that I queued up?
Sure.
This is funny. You put a woman in a costume, at least one man will have a fetish about it, but I don't mix business and pleasure. The big shoes stay off. Good. Yeah, Christmas is a sad time sometimes. Even when it's like nice.
Good, Amy. I hope you're feeling better.
I think it's just the start of winter. I get kind of
the lifestyle's not
going anywhere.
Hey, look, there I am.
There's you. Okay, so we got this. I got 3 videos queued up. Testosterone in 2 years post-op. Starting my channel about this is a trans MTF, and then living with a transphobic unsupported family. What do you want to watch?
Let's do that one.
I think so too. I think that one will be the best. Okay, so let me get this queued up. All right, we're gonna watch a video of a whining trans person and respond to it.
Aren't they all videos of them whining?
Right. Why they whine so much? Nobody can do anything for them. Okay, get this.
Are we still in the shot? Wow, she is really feminine.
Yeah. It's not. Oh God.
Okay, honestly, she is really pretty. She's a very
They
beautiful
can't
woman.
see her yet. She is very pretty. Yeah.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like, if you're a very beautiful woman,
maybe don't destroy yourself.
Don't destroy yourself, and you ain't gonna pass as male. Like,
no,
ever.
They have this like idea that they're gonna be pretty like an anime boy or something.
Hello, it's me, Tanner, and it's 2019 now. I haven't filmed for months, mainly because my phone was broken and it did not want to film anything. It also died at 100%. So I got a new one. The other factor was I've been having family problems, and I'm kind of gonna explain some of that in this video. I just wanted to make this video to share my situation and let you guys know that, like, if you have a family like this, you're gonna get past it. Like, it's shitty. Don't get me wrong, but you'll survive. Like, you're gonna make it, you know? I'm just gonna explain my situation. I have 2 guardians. They're my grandparents, and I've lived with them since grade 6. I'm now in grade 12.
So a lot of the time when people say these things, like, it's tough, but you're gonna get through it.
When they haven't gotten through
it. And also, like, oh, it really sucks when your family is this way, and she's pinning transphobia on her family. She hasn't even done it yet, but I know she's going to. It's like, do you have problems with your family because they're transphobic, or are there actual larger issues that aren't being addressed?
Right. No, I can't wait to see. She's going to tell us about her guardians, who I guess are not her parents.
One of them,
grandparents,
is not supportive at all. The other one kind of wants to be supportive, but can't because the other one won't let them. So, a little bit of controlling issues here.
Yeah, it's called
that. It's like fine living with unsupportive guardians. Like, at the end of the day, you know, I'm fine because I'm not being physically hurt. However, emotionally, I've been fucked up. At school, I would like come to school crying. My eyes would be so swollen because I had been crying so much the previous night. And like something my eyes do when like I cry too much is like they like twitch and shake. So like that bothers me when I'm at school because like I'm trying to concentrate and I can just feel like my eyes like twitching and shaking, and it's not fun, you know, because that's also like a reminder of like, you know, because I'm like, oh, my eyes like shaking, right? And then I think like, why is my eye shaking? And then I think back to it, and then it just doesn't help, you know. I try my best to compromise with my grandparents, you know. From the start, I like
you called it.
saw a counselor, and I was like, you know what, maybe they won't listen to me. I'm a teenager. That's fine. I understand that some adults are like that. They don't want to listen to people younger than them. So I would get counselors to talk to my
younger people are supposed to listen to older people. I just want to interject that there. Like, if you're a teenager, there's no way that you are going to have more wisdom or knowledge than your grandparents.
More insight, yeah.
Or more insight.
It's not going to happen.
Like, stop, you know, like, and just what happened to respecting your elders too?
Okay,
like,
and she, you know what though? She doesn't even mean listen. She does not mean listen. She means control.
Yeah.
She means that they're not honoring her imaginary pronouns or her imaginary name. And she's saying that's listening. And it's not what she's even talking about.
Yeah, she means comply with my wishes, which, like, they're the adults, not you.
Grandmother, and you know, she said things that she believed, and we're like, fine, you know what? Clearly, we can't change neither of them. You know, we can't change them, so let's just focus on me and what I can do. So I proposed to my grandmother, if you let me go on tea early, I will go on a smaller dose, which means the changes would happen slower. Yeah, even more slow than it normally takes. Nope, didn't want to compromise for that. When editing this video, I remembered another compromise that I tried to do for my guardians. I won a reward at my school a few years ago, and this individual refused to come because my reward was going to say Tanner on it. So I actually spoke to my principal. I asked him to print me two, one with my birth name and one with my chosen name. I only asked for the one with my birth name on it so I could give it to this individual, yet this individual still refused to come. They didn't even show up. So I just tried to please this person, and they didn't even care. So, love that. So it's like, fine then, you know what? I have tried with both of you, you know. I've waited. So I'm going to do things myself because clearly no one else cares about my health here. And
most of all, you.
I have been seeing a gender therapist for over a year now. And I've been really like pushing hard for myself to be able to go on hormones and to get the connections I need in order to be healthier.
Sounds like a drug addict.
It
like,
is a
get
drug
the
addict.
Connections I need. Just, I want to put that in there. Like,
they do. Drug addicts act that way, and they often
gotta get my connections.
They glom onto one person in some kind of way so that they can have a continuous supply of their drugs. It's not even necessarily a romantic relationship. It's just drug based completely.
Yeah.
And help with my dysphoria. So I am now on pills to stop my monthly thing while I wait to see a doctor to go on hormones here.
Can't even say
a period.
Which is
can't
exciting.
even say
but
my menstrual cycle.
That's a whole nother story about having to wait long because I've already waited so long. But it's fine.
This is the thing that like really irritates me about these people is that they want to like stop having these functions. They want to stop having certain body parts, but they can't even say the words. They can't even say like the common euphemism slang because period isn't technical. She can't even say period. She has to say my monthly thing.
They're always using these like childish terms.
Because the word period might trigger me. Like, God, you know, people have war in their countries. You know that people like are starving. Like, but you are here like bitching about this shit.
It's fine. It'll come. But back to the situation here. I have to deal with one of my guardians saying shit to me all the time, calling me a freak like multiple times in a day, like after I tell this person to not call me that because I don't like it, kind of like a normal human being would like stop, once you say, I don't really like that. Can you stop? It's hurting me. Most people stop. Not this individual.
You mean your grandpa?
And
she doesn't want to say grandpa.
I don't really like it here, every time I mention that,
Look how nice the place
they
is.
tell me, then you know where you can go. Really? Do I know where I can go? I'm 17. I can't go into foster care. I'm not going into shelters. Like, I have no family here that is supportive because we moved away from all of them. Where am I gonna go? Every time they say this, they're referring to me like going back with my parents, which they know that's not gonna happen. It's not really possible for me to do that. I also don't want to do that, and they know that, which is why they bring it up. And like this one individual here will make little things into a huge fight, and it will be over nothing. It'll be about like something random, something super small that shouldn't really be a problem, and all of a sudden like take that and escalate and make it a huge thing. And of course, I have a problem myself with, I don't want this individual to think that they have an extreme amount of power over me. So whenever they say things to me, I won't really take it. I will kind of just like, I just won't stop. Like, I'll be like, that's not how it works. Or like, that's like, you can't say that, things like that. And then they say, well, it's my house. I can say and do whatever I want. Yes, it's your house. You are correct. You can do and say whatever you want. But owning a house doesn't mean you can be an asshole. So.
Yeah, it does. In your own house, yeah.
I've been threatened multiple times that they're going to kick me out. That usually like never scares me because they say it all the time, which is another problem because that's not fun to hear. But one night, gotta calm myself, don't want to cry.
Wait, can you plug it?
One night.
Yeah.
Okay, so clearly there are a lot of issues going on here that, like, if you completely removed her transness from the equation entirely, say she didn't even feel that way, there would be some of these same issues surfacing and, causing her anxiety and upsetting her. Like all these things would still be going on. But I guess that like a lot of the transness frequently is like a total cope. It's like this person is clearly from somewhat of a turbulent like background. If she is not in custody of her parents, she got to be in custody of her grandparents that are very far away from her other parents, very far away from her former life. Like, that's not really a great start. That's not really an ideal situation. And I think that like I know that the trans cult like preaches these, this like notion of rebirth, like your problems will just all go away, like you'll just be exactly who you want to be. And it's also this thinking that you can like become this other person when the fact of the matter is you're still going to be yourself. And like instead of her like a lot of the things she's saying here are really things that should be like, if she's gonna go over them, she should be going over these things with like a family therapist, like, or some kind of mediator person for like this whole like mess that she's in, because these issues are none of them are because she's trans. Actually, some of them are, but like she is not comprehending. Like, so say you have this 17-year-old individual and say her grandparents are 60 plus years old. They've never heard any of this trans nonsense. She comes up to them and tells them all this trans nonsense. It's gobbledygook. Like, it makes no sense to someone who's that age. It makes no sense to us.
Yeah.
And we're our age. But I'm just saying it makes more sense to these children that do not yet have developed brains, and then they want the adults to just play along with their game, and a lot of the time the adults are like, no, I will not do that. And she's not understanding her situation at all, and the transness is even making her situation worse, I would argue.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's like another way for her to, I feel like, just complicate her life further.
Yeah.
You ever notice that with people? Like, people have all these problems and they just purposely make life harder for themselves.
In a lot of ways, yeah.
It's so stressful to deal with people like this.
It seemed really, really real. And they like brought suitcases up to like my room and like told me like to pack them, and like it was not fun. Made me feel very unwanted. I was just spending a lot of my time outside of the house as much as I could. But this person in particular uses anything they can to try to get more power over me. And it sucks. But there's a bright side.
And you live with your grandparents. Give them a break.
I haven't been kicked out yet because I just got a job for the first time ever, so I don't have much money. But it will be only a few months till I do move out. I'm moving out as soon as I can because I don't think it's a good idea for me to stay here. I can move out in the summertime.
It doesn't seem like it's a good idea for her to
and get a full-time job so I can pay more rent, and I already have plans on where I'm staying. So that's kind of like the positive outlook to the situation. But yeah, I just want to talk about this because I feel like I haven't seen many videos recently of like people, like trans youth, who have to deal with a shitty home situation. Because I know what happens. I know, like, not every, like, trans kid is lucky enough to have, like, a really supportive family. And if they are, that's great. Everyone experiences
the worst thing
life
you could possibly have,
whether you're trans or not. So, like,
to be
I don't really see a
in your
point to be jealous
yeah.
of, like, other trans people who have it better than me and other people, because, you know, we're just experiencing something different and we have to go through it, and it'll just make us persevere more in life and become more resilient. So that's how I just see it. I just think it's important for people to know that it's gonna be fine. Like, I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna get out.
It's the It Gets Better project all over again. It's gonna be fine. You have no idea how it's gonna be. It's not gonna get better, honey. You're in for a world of hurt, but do you?
Yeah, she's
like I've been dealing with this for so long.
Sorry, go
on. Oh, good. It's okay.
She's
for like how many years now, and it's gonna be over soon. I'm gonna be out of here.
Your grandparents' dog came to say hi?
Living in these types of environments can be difficult, and it can make you want to do some bad things to yourself, but it's not worth it. Like, you can survive. Like, you're gonna get out. I'm gonna get out. It'll be okay. But then again, my situation is a little bit different because it's not physical, and if it is physical, you should probably tell someone. And by probably, I mean, do it, please. But yeah, I just wanted to come in here and like share this because I think it needs to be said, and I think it needs to be heard. Thank you for watching this video. I hope 2019 is going to be a good year for all of you watching this, and I hope it will be the same for me. So
I want to look at her channel for a second. See,
I'm worried.
Yeah, I know. Let's see how Tanner's doing. Tanner Z.
She's on the testosterone.
Most recent updates. Let's see. Nothing in 3 years. trans march with my boyfriend, who also is a girl. Aww. Yeah,
So
nothing in
mentally
3
ill.
years. Nothing in 3 years, though. All right. Well, who knows what happened to Tanner?
What happened to her?
Yeah. Anyway, this made me laugh, so I scrolled up to it. Boys don't cry.
Boys don't cry.
Cry. Who knew that the Cure would be put in this position?
Here they are.
This is funny. Get over it. There are real problems that you probably do have, and this isn't one. Hi, Troy teaches math. Right, I know.
Right,
Like,
for real.
come on. People
For
have
real.
real problems. And this person's like, I'm 17 and I live with my grandparents who provide a very nice home for me with a fireplace. That fireplace was nice.
And a dog.
And a dog. And like, they don't physically abuse me, but they don't want to go along with my made up BS.
You know what? Okay, I'll say really quickly, just because when people are like, oh, there are people out there that are worse, like, that's absolutely true. And people are allowed to be upset about whatever it is they're upset about, but like maybe don't broadcast it to the world.
I know. Like, people need to stop. I mean, I know she's a teenager, but like, now she's in her 20s. That was like 2018. It's been 3 years since she's posted. Who knows what her life is like or what's going on. But this individual who's distressed by that thing that happens every month needs to use words like grown up. But they're not grown up. And this thing keeps them in that state of arrested development because they're just like, do you think it's comfortable for the average woman to say, I'm getting my period? It's something that we have to learn how to do because it is awkward. But you have to figure out how to use the language to talk about what you're going through. It's just they think that like their discomfort isn't something that other people have as well. That's the thing that really irritates me. Like,
right, dude.
Becoming a woman is awkward.
It is.
You know, you got to deal with all this stuff. Your body, the changes. It's weird. It's uncomfortable. It's strange. It's a beautiful thing.
You have to adjust. It takes time to adjust.
You're uncomfortable at first.
Have different things going on. You don't have a system down. It's
Chickpea.
Tough.
That's a nice name.
That is cute. Hi, Chickpea.
And thank you, Troy, for giving a $10 donation. That's nice. When YouTube sends that my way sometime next year, I'll be happy to think of you. A-Chan is here. Merry Christmas, A-Chan. Oh, look at all this chat. Cope. Exactly, the cope. The cope is real. I just hate when people who are like in the middle of something too, they're like, I just wanted to tell you all my problems that I'm going through currently to let you know that it gets better. Like, you have no idea if it gets better. What are you talking about? Like, that
they just want
we're going to be okay. Like, no.
They want to have a more favorable ending to their YouTube vid.
Mm-hmm.
So they say the liberal mantra.
And they want to make it seem like what they're doing that's causing them all this distress in their life is perfectly fine and normal and not crazy. Like, wow, this is causing a rift between your grandpa and you, and it's causing a rift between both of your grandparents. Like, apparently they're having like disagreements about how to deal with you, and they're not the ones that produced you, you know? They're your grandparents that lovingly took you on when your parents couldn't deal with you. And then you have the audacity to turn around in these old people's face and like just be this whiny 17-year-old, like, oh, I can't take my hormones yet. Like, you're going to be 18 soon. Like, why do you, and then she's like trying to like play games and manipulate. Well, what if I just went on a really low dose, Grandma? She said no the first time. Stop trying to mess with your grandma. Like, I cannot stand people who mess with their grandparents. Like, of all the things, like, your parents are one thing, like, you deserve to give them a little hell, But you never should give your grandparents any grief.
I never messed with my grandparents.
No, my grandma would slap me.
Never.
And she'd look me right in the face and tell me I was being a manipulative little C word. She wouldn't give an F. Rest in peace, Grandma.
Oh, R.I.P. Grandma.
My grandma was cool. Like
Rest in peace, my grandmas too.
Yeah, both of my grandmas are gone too. Like that's the thing too. Like they're old. Like just let bygones be bygones. These people are going like sooner than you think, and you're just like so self-obsessed. That's the other thing that just irritates me. Like, you know how precious your grandparents are, and the fact that they've taken you in and are letting you live at their house in their golden years when they should be like, that's a lot of stress to put on some old people. And your grandpa, like, he may not be dealing with things in the right way or whatever, but it's because he loves you.
Right. And that thing with her saying that she got the award at school and her grandfather didn't go because it didn't have her legal name on it. Like, yeah. I would just be like, if my kid or any kid that I knew by a certain name came up to me and was like, "You're going to call me this name now," I would be like,
the fuck I am.
No, I'm not. I'm not calling you that ever. Especially if like they had some normal name, and then they wanted to have like a boy name or a girl name, I'd be like, yeah, no, that's a no. Like, I just. Anyway, that girl was clearly Canadian, and I know in Canada they just let you trans like all the way basically at school. So like that was also clearly an issue he had with the school of her just going by her fake name all of a sudden. And like obviously I think that her grandparents didn't know how to talk to her about these things, and that is in fact a problem with this trans trend, is that the parents or whoever that disagrees with them, they don't know how to reach them in a way that makes sense to the child. And yeah, that's a problem, but it's like, I think that people like that should ask their kids, like, they should tell them, what you're doing does not make sense. What you're telling me does not make sense. No one can change your biological sex. Like, reassess this action in your mind. Go ahead. Run along. Like,
I don't know how people deal with it, honestly, because I'd be pulling my hair out, like, with dealing with a kid like this. I don't know how they do it. Like,
I think what happens is these children are not taught boundaries.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
The thing is that you have to start teaching your kid boundaries when they're a toddler. Like,
and also one of the big boundaries that they don't seem to have is who the adult is and who the child is. Like, that seems to be fundamental. And it's like, I don't think adults should be like wicked authoritarians, but you are not your kid's friend. You are their parent. And like, this is the thing, like, yeah, you can get along with and love and enjoy this person's company, but at the end of the day, they are your guardian. They're your legal guardian. They are there to steward you. They are there to like keep you and protect you and provide for you. They are not there to be your buddy. They don't have to agree with you. You're going to have disagreements with them. You're going to think that they're unfair sometimes. There were so many times as a child that I felt like I wasn't being treated fairly, but like, I knew who the adult was in the situation.
Right.
Like, I knew what my limitations were.
Right.
And I think that's the thing. Yeah. Boundaries are really, boundaries are one, but it's just like, there's no respect for elders or authority. She was like saying that her grandparents told her she knows where she can go, meaning like she could go be on the street and go like to these shelters or whatever. But like she had already had nowhere to go with her parents or parent or wherever the fuck she was before, and then came to her grandparents, and then she still had the audacity to be like, I don't have anywhere to go, when this was the place that she had to go.
that she was able to go to. Like, not many people have grandparents or any relatives that are going to be willing to take them in and let them live there. But she did. And then she was like, this is all horrible. Like, so disrespectful.
And I'm going to go online and publicly, like, talk about my familial problems. Like, I mean, she's 17. Like, I don't want to dig into her too much, but, like, this is what people are dealing with in their homes, like kids like this. And this is what's being produced. And then they find these communities online that just like reinforce them, make them think that,
and validate them.
Oh yeah, you're totally valid in bad mouthing your grandparents and, you know, being disrespectful, not respecting your grandfather's authority in his own home. Like, just because, like, that, what was that? She said, just because you have a house doesn't give you the right to be an asshole. It's like, it does in your own four walls. Yeah, you do have a right to behave any way you want in your own home. Like, I just hate that too. Like, there's no respect for that either. Like, this is this man's home. You are bringing chaos and confusion into his home. Like, excuse him. Excuse the old man who is like looking after you despite the fact that he didn't produce you. Oh man, it's just the brattiness. It's so.
She was really like hyper fixating on the trans problem. Like she couldn't get past it. Like, she clearly had a place to sleep, access to food and water, like her clothing and legal guardians, and she just couldn't get past the trans dream. And it's like,
which she's 17. She's going to be old, like a legal adult in like months.
Right.
I remember being 17 and just like the 18 was scary. It was like, oh God, I'm going to be legally an adult soon. And like, they're like, if I were her and I was like dead set on destroying myself with testosterone, you know, I'd be like, okay, I've got 6 months. Waiting, but she's just like, I can't take it. I can't
let me get it right now. My grandma won't let me go
like,
on lower dose.
You have your whole life to do that. You're 17. A few months isn't going to kill you to continue waiting.
No, it ain't.
Oh, this is interesting.
People with too much time on their hands, if you're living with lots of activities and a satisfying job or volunteering, you're less likely to be so solipsistic. Yeah, that's true. You don't have enough things in your life if you're so super focused on this internet religion that you're obsessed with. Like,
what are you doing?
He on his hind legs.
He's thinking about getting on that counter again.
Nero, nuh-uh.
He got on the counter this morning. You know what he did? He jumped up, got on top of the cabinets, went to sleep, woke up, and started crying at me.
Oh my gosh, Nee.
He's like, I don't know how to get down. I was like, don't even bother. Don't even ask me. I'm not helping you get down.
That's so cute.
I totally ignored him. He figured it out. And then he came up to me like, nah, like little cat interlude. Yeah, I just, man, like, and they put it all out there. No, that's so true. That's a good point. There is so much pressure. Like, they get like very like, I have to have it now. I have to have it now. I have to have it now. Like, I need my breast removed now. I can't wait 6 months. I need to go on T right now. I can't wait 3 months. Can't I just go on a low dose right now? And you know what? That's not even the way it works, because the dosages, like, from what I understand, a lower dose can often masculinize faster than a higher dose. Like, the dosage, just because you like go on a higher dose doesn't mean you're gonna masculinize faster, is what I'm trying to say. Just from what I've observed with FTMs, I have known, like, oftentimes they will get put on a lower dose because they're on too much, and then they'll find once they go on a lower dose, they start to get more changes, like, you know. But anyway, you know, but she probably knew that and was, you know, just again trying to manipulate something out of her grandma and pretending like it was a compromise. She's she's like, well, Grandma, what if we like just compromise about the dose? Like, it's just like that, just the tip energy, you know?
It was basically like, she was like, can I have a horse? And her grandparents were like, no. And she was like, okay, but what if we like rented a spot at a stable and I still got a horse? And they were like,
no.
Still no. Like, she doesn't understand how.
What if it was just a pony?
What if she just got a pony? You'd still have to rent a place for the same amount of money, but it would just be a pony instead. Like they do not understand. They don't hear themselves. I'm surprised these people don't watch their videos. They do. They watch their videos.
I know. I watch
what
my
they're
videos.
Saying. They watch their videos and they really watch themselves say this shit, and they're like, yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, I almost cried at that moment deep.
Oh my God.
I hate people that cry on camera. Can I just say that? Like, if it happens naturally, okay. But like,
but I don't do
yeah, but it's natural when you do it. It's not like you'll be talking and then it'll like happen.
No.
But you know, you see these people get on and they'll be like, just bawling. Like, she wasn't doing that, but she was kind of like a bit like, I can't get like, you know, also like, this is not a real problem. That's the other thing I just want to stress about it. Like,
it's not at all.
This is not a real problem. You know, I listen to these people, like, especially these teenagers going on about this. It's like, do you know that people right now are refugees? Do you know that there are people who are like caught in no man's land that are fleeing different countries? Yeah, there are people who haven't eaten in days. There are people who are don't have clean drinking water. There are people who
are injured and maybe in a hospital receiving care, but they don't know what the heck is going to happen to them. They have no idea.
You know, there are people who don't have family that can look after them. You know, that's the other thing. Like, you have family that looks after you. Like, she does not understand what a privileged position she's in. And then she just has like no gratitude for it. It's just like, oh dear, I can't get on my tea yet. I'm being abused. My grandpa is angry with me. It's like, of course your grandpa's angry with you,
you're
stupid.
Being a brat.
Like, you're really being a brat, and you're also surprised. Like, not respecting his very understandable caution about what the hell you've gotten caught up in. Like, that's it. You're caught up in something. It's scary. It's like he's watching his granddaughter get caught up in a cult. And of course, he's from another generation where men like were less, I don't know, expressive, let's just say. You know, men of that generation have, I don't know how to put this, they're just a little bit more patriarchal.
Sure.
You know, they're used to saying something and being respected in their own home.
Yeah.
That's it. And you know what? It's not a bad thing. You know,
I don't think it's a bad thing, but
he's providing for you. He's doing everything for you. You shouldn't even be there anyway.
Right.
Like, shut your mouth and respect your grandfather.
I think that he should. I think that men like this should, though I know a lot of them won't. I think they should kind of at least attempt to have a heart-to-heart with these people. Like, that grandfather should have had a heart-to-heart with Tanner and been like, I'm worried about your health. I don't want you to do this because I think it's not good for you. Period. Sorry. I know you want to, but I'm not letting you. Like,
oh yeah. Well, we don't know that he didn't at first.
That's true.
Because like, I feel like we don't have the full side of the story.
We definitely don't.
Like, and I feel like it's hard for grandpas. Like, my grandpa, I love him to pieces, but like, he could never have a heart-to-heart with me, you know? Even though I know he loves me.
Maybe write it in a note.
No.
Well,
the Christmas card he sent me was like, he could barely write, you know, like, you know what I mean?
That's
like,
a fault of theirs, though, that they should be able to express themselves
I don't know.
A little bit more.
I just, you know, you got to accept people though for what they are too. And like, your grandpa is your grandpa. Like,
right.
Accept him for what he is. Don't try to make him someone he's not. If he's not, I just, it would be nice if people could express themselves more, but I just think they don't have to. I understand that with my grandpa, we're never going to have the kind of relationship where we have those kind of deep conversations. He's just not that kind of man.
Right.
And I respect that. And I love him anyway for who he is. And like, if I was in his home and he asked something of me, like, I would respect it.
Right.
Because, it is who he is. It's his home. He's also an old man. He deserves to be comfortable in his own home.
Right.
And, having a teenager in your house as an old man is not comfortable.
No way, Jose.
Oh, pardon me, honey.
Sorry.
I'm just moving a little bit because I need to stretch my leg. But anyway, I'm going on about this. Yeah, there is a war happening right now. And people are misplaced and hungry. I mean, there's wars in multiple countries, like, of course, that was filmed in 2018. So.
And she's in Canada.
Canada strikes again. Weren't we bad-mouthing Canada a little bit ago?
We were a little while ago.
Yeah.
Tranada.
Oh, Tranada. What happened to the North?
Do you want to watch another vid?
Oh yeah, we can do that. Let's see. There was an.
I want to watch. Go back to the.
My watch later. Let's see. Okay, so testosterone.
That's the one I want to watch.
Non-binary, the NB.
Yeah.
Okay, I like the coloring because it's the trans coloring.
Twins.
Okay, we're gonna watch another video and respond. So everybody, I hope you're excited. Put in the custom layout. We'll do a better layout. This will be a little bit nicer. Okay, watch later. Pull it up. Ugh.
Such a girl.
Again, I know.
Such an obvious girl. Oh, is she also Canadian?
Oh, probably. I don't know for sure. Her teeth are a tragedy. Like, just saying.
That's actually why I thought she was English to start.
I know.
Just from the thumbnail.
Hello, everybody. It is the Queer Nerd, and I am here with
Yeah,
a
we can.
update at long last.
Oops.
It is July 7th, 2021 today, and I had my second weekly shot of testosterone. So I'm like 1 week on testosterone today. That's probably the biggest update. Also, I'm officially 2 years post-op, so my T date is weirdly, coincidentally, really close to my top surgery date. Cool.
I don't think we should go.
But I have a couple other updates and things like that to share today too. So see you around.
Oh Lord, it's so childish.
So first of all, top surgery, since I'm 2 years post-op, I'll give some updates. I have been super, super happy with basically every aspect of my top surgery and results and how I feel about it and everything. I can show you guys what my chest looks like now. I have a couple pictures on my Instagram. I think on my Instagram, you can't totally tell what it looks like.
God.
It looks like better on Instagram, frankly, than it looks in real life. But that's okay. This is mostly what
Not the worst I've seen, but
She
still.
just whips out her naked
anyway,
body. They're such exhibitionists.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sitting on the floor, so my body looks weird. But anyway,
which I am too.
My scars aren't
I haven't had my restroom
or anything, and they were totally like smooth, and I don't know, my chest feels good. Like I was initially mostly worried about the texture of my scars. They kind of felt gross, but now they feel fine. My nips are
stop. Oh my God.
Which sucks, but whatever. Like I don't really care.
This is wild.
It's like something weirdly poking my nips.
If we were doing this on camera, like this is the thing that really offends me. Let me just pause this. The thing that really offends me is that if we were to get our chests out like this and play with our nipples,
that would be
we would lose our channel.
Pornography.
Yeah, but she's doing it. No problem. It's really sick.
Which is cool. And yeah, I'm thriving. I don't have any pain in my chest anymore, and I'm getting I've just slowly been getting more sensation and less weird feelings in this area and these areas of my chest and stuff. Because for a while I had some sensitivity in this top part of my chest.
Yeah, go figure.
You can kind of see the muscles of my chest. Not very big right now, but I've been working out. But anyway, that's the thing. And if
You're
you haven't seen my
never
other
gonna be really
videos
big.
about my top surgery or my other
Because
pension
you're
updates,
female.
just go to my channel. I don't have that many videos up, so you'll find them really fast. If you want to see like my 2 weeks post-op recovery and then my 1 year post-op like reflection.
No.
Other big thing, well, I want testosterone. There are many reasons for that. As you can tell probably from my old videos, I've been thinking about testosterone for a super long time.
I bet they're the exact same reasons that every single other trans YouTuber lists every single time they make a video. Do you think so?
Probably.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
But let's see.
How did we know?
Like 5 years probably. And always kind of like putting it off, thinking that I didn't really want it or didn't need it or didn't want it enough or something like that, or could live without it or things like that. And I don't really know exactly why now I feel comfortable doing it, but I'm just like, I need to do it now. That's just what it came down to. Is for my, like, for years and years I've even been saying, someday if my dysphoria gets bad enough, I can just go on testosterone and we'll solve it. Like, why was I saying that? I had dysphoria before, so I could have just gone on testosterone to solve it earlier, or to try to solve it at least. I don't, know if it'll totally work, but if everything goes as planned, hopefully it will help. So
Mentally ill.
my dysphoria has been a little bit worse in the past year or so, and I think because
The year since you've had your tits cut off.
a concept that a lot of trans people experience, where like after you get one part of your gender affirmed, or one aspect of your life more affirming, you realize other things that are problems. So
Yeah, it's called a plastic
I had
surgery
surgery.
addiction.
I, for like a year, felt like I had like no dysphoria. I was so happy and great. And then I started realizing like, oh shit, I have bottom dysphoria. I have voice dysphoria. I kind of knew I had voice dysphoria before, but it became more noticeable, and other things. So, yeah. So that was part of it. It was the time now. Like, I still have dysphoria even though I had top surgery, and then there's something I can do about that. So that's what I'm gonna do. Another element is that in, I believe, December of 2020, I finally got on a birth control method to try to stop my monthly cycles. So I'm going to be talking now about like monthly cycles and things like that. So if you don't want to hear about that because it'll be triggering to you, you should not listen to this part of the video. Basically, I started, at first I, for a long time, sought out Nexplanon, which is like a birth control implant, because I thought that would obviously be like the lowest maintenance thing for me to do. And some people that I spoke with, like some medical professionals, told me that would probably stop my period. Well, I talked to another medical professional, like when I was about to get Nexplanon. I like pulled into the office. I'm like, I'm here to get Nexplanon, and she talked to me about it and what would happen. And she said, well, you might not have your period totally stop. You might stop having monthly periods, but you probably will have breakthrough bleeding, like a lot. You'll probably have like random spotting and like random bleeding all the time. And I'm like, well, it's like the opposite of what I want. Like, I want to try to minimize the amount of days that I have to have a period or bleed or whatever, or think about that part of my body, right? In that way. So she said, okay, well, we can do something else. We can have you basically take the pill, like the regular pill, birth control pill, take every day, but take that continuously and don't have a placebo week, because usually people have like a placebo week where they have a period. But she said you can just like skip that and just keep taking the pills, and then you'll never have a period, theoretically. I was like, that sounds good to me. I'll give it a try, even though I feel weird like taking the pill because there's estrogen in it. I was like, that's weird. Is that going to be a problem for me? She said it's probably not going to impact your body in like any feminizing way. I'm like, okay. So I tried that. I started, also for background, in case anyone's new to the channel, I previously had very infrequent periods. So I started my cycles when I was like 15, and then I had cycles like every 6 months or something like that for many years. And then I started like 2 years ago or something like that, I started having my cycles like every 2 months or something like that, or I bleed like every 2 months. So I was like, oh shit, like I need to, like, I want to go back to having it only every 6 months, right? Like, I'm sure even cis women probably would relate to that. Like, you don't really want to have it every month, right? So I
want to have a period every month, actually,
because of dysphoria.
I like getting my period.
Better before,
it's
I was
fun.
like, okay, well, fuck it, I'm gonna go on birth control. But I started taking the pill in December. I started it when I started a period, and basically the worst thing possible happened. Like, my worst nightmare happened. I kept bleeding and kept bleeding and kept bleeding. And basically it was on my period for a month, and then another month after that, well, basically a month, or 2 month and a half after, I still had like things happening, like stuff coming out. There was like not really a full period, but it was like not great. So I basically was bleeding for like 3 months. Well, 2.5 months to 3 months. The spotting kind of came and went at the end. And then since then, I've still been on the pill, but the spotting has been not constant, but like frequent. So that sucks. I honestly cried a lot. When
You could have just had it once every
I
2
was
months
first
instead.
realizing that it was like not working because well, they did tell me like you might bleed, you might, you know, when you first start taking the pill, you might bleed for longer than normal. You might have like some spotting and things like that. That's like normal. I'm like, okay, so if I have my period for 2 weeks, like that's fine, whatever. I'll take one for the team for future age range. But so after 2 weeks of bleeding every day, like a full ass period worth of bleeding every day, I called and they said that kind of stuff could happen for up to 3 months on the pill. That's like normal. It's normal for that to happen for 3 months. So I'm like, oh my fucking God, how am I going to do this? Like, am I going to be able to survive?
I've never heard that about the pill,
If it just
but okay.
stops, that would be cool.
I mean,
It's normal to have a 3-month period while you're on
and then the other thing was like
okay.
all the other forms of birth control that I could try would have a similar risk. So it's not like I could have just stopped the pill and tried Nexplanon. Nexplanon could have had the same side effect. So that was not great. I was really sad. I felt honestly disgusted by my body for a month at least. And then I kind of got used to it, but not really. Another thing, the only way I made it through that, seriously, the only way I made it through that was period underwear from Aisle, which I'll show you right now, pair mine. So,
oh, here we go. Here's the product placement.
They're in the boxer brief style. They have
He's definitely not a woman, you
He
guys.
saved my fucking life because, first of all, money wise, like I didn't have to buy.
She's not a woman. You can tell by the type of underwear.
Like, I could have. There were many times, many days, many weeks where I could have gotten by just wearing a liner.
Even though she
And
bleeds
I
out
didn't
of
have
her
to buy
vagina
liners.
onto
I
those
have to
underwear.
so I, can wash them in enough time. And always have them clean when I was having the spotting like frequently. So these are just a lifesaver because they're so soft and so comfortable. This is literally the only thing that's ever allowed me to forget that I was bleeding, and to not have it impact me like physically every moment. Like I've tried like menstrual cups too, and they don't really work well for my anatomy, unfortunately. So this is what works for me. Anyway, if you're also having problems with spotting and stuff, like would definitely recommend period underwear because they might be kind of not ideal if you're having like super heavy flow all the time, because then you're gonna have to probably change it in the middle of the day, or I don't know, you might have to wear like a tampon also or something. But for me, my flow when it was like low amounts of stuff coming out of my body, this was like super great. Wear it the whole day, don't even have to think about it at all, and wash it and you're good. So great. Also, you can wear it like to bed and at night, and it's comfy and you're not gonna leak because the whole back panel and basically the whole front panel, like all of this and all of this is like gonna protect your sheets, you know what I'm saying? So these are great. So anyway, I'm still like having that problem. Hopefully that testosterone will help with like the spotting and endless bleeding. Endless, it seems like. 2 other big things. My mental health basically went down the toilet during the pandemic. For the first time in my life, I felt like I was depressed. For the first time in my life, I had a lot of bad thoughts and bad times, like really bad. I'd always been like a really happy person before, and I like finally understood like what it was like for my friends who were depressed. I'm like, oh my God, like this is what's going on. This is how
you don't think that was just,
I didn't
have,
a
pandemic?
get like diagnosed with depression or anything, but I was
making
seeing
you
a therapist and
feel bad?
I think when that was really bad, like it also exacerbated my dysphoria, obviously, because
she couldn't go in public and be noticed for her pretend maleness,
bleeding or other aspects of my dysphoria, and it was horrible. I think it was mostly caused by me being overwhelmed with my life, like overwhelmed with every aspect of my life, my school, my work, and everything. So when my semester ended in the spring, in May, that was when I started feeling better for the first time. So I have another year of school left in college, so a little nervous for the fall when I have to start doing classes again. Hopefully it'll be all right. I'm trying to like moderate my other activities so I can do a better job of that. Like I'm only going to have a job, a club, school, and then whatever else, friends and things like that. But last time I was in school, I had more classes and more clubs, and it was a pandemic, so it was horrible. So hopefully that'll be fine. I guess the last thing I need to do update about is just like other dysphoria things I've been experiencing. So like I said before, basically I started being cognizant of my bottom dysphoria like in the last year or so because of I think getting more acquainted with my body after top surgery, and also like being intimate with people more often, feeling like more comfortable being intimate with people, and then being depressed in the pandemic. So I started like experiencing more bottom dysphoria, which honestly was really confusing for me for a while because I thought for the longest time I like convinced myself that as a non-binary person I was comfortable with my body now that I had top surgery, and I was like all good with this like androgynous mix of characteristics and stuff. But it turns out that's not the case. So I have bought a couple different prosthetics to try to see what feels comfortable for me.
So
that means strap-ons.
Really help me because
I hate when they call it a
it's not a
prosthetic.
prosthetic.
It's a
That's
strap-on.
absolutely not what it
Okay,
is.
okay, honey.
Gonna try things out. Will report back if I find any prosthetics and things like that that I love. Been watching a lot of Chase Ross videos, like reviews of all of these prosthetics he's used over the years. So yeah, if anybody's like looking for content about
prosthetics, you do not.
Yeah, we already know about him if you're watching my channel. I'm really lucky to have an awesome partner who is totally willing to explore all these different aspects of my dysphoria and prosthetics and everything like that with me. And he's just the best. And he tries really hard to understand and educate himself. So I'm very thankful for him. I haven't made a satire video yet. Sorry, y'all. I can do that.
We have no idea.
All my things together.
Probably could be another tip.
I just put coconut oil
50-50.
That's all I do. Anyway, that's all my updates for now. I'll keep you guys updated with my testosterone changes if they happen. Who knows? Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe if you want to follow the channel.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be like.
So she's dysphoric, but we'll talk on camera for over 10 minutes about her period. Happily.
We'll give that a thumbs down. Let's check out this channel too. Let's see what kind of nonsense we have here.
Hey, she is with a male. Hey, I'm Adrian.
Are you sure that's a male?
I use they, them pronouns, and I make LGBTQ plus education content. Could be a female, actually.
Yeah, and silly vlogs with my queer friends. Oh, wait, 2 years ago. So this is another one that's disappeared into the ether. Last video.
She detransitioned.
Yeah, I hope so too. Oh, look, there she was.
These people, I will never not be shocked at how young these people are.
I know,
like
so young.
That looks like a picture of her. Her before picture looks like her in high school, maybe even middle school. And like then they get all these surgeries. It's really frightening to me. They get all these surgeries before they're 25. It is shocking. It's shocking to me every time. It doesn't. Yeah. It never gets not shocking. Because it's really, really sick. And you know what? I was calling her mentally ill, and I think she kind of is. But at the same time, I suddenly wonder, like, how many of these people are actually mentally ill and believing this gender bull? Or are they just victims of the cult? And they're just doing what's asked of them in the cult.
Oh, Amy likes when we do commentary. There was a non-binary woman talking about how she literally had a mastectomy because of street harassment. Let me see if I can find the quote. I made a video about it. Really? That's interesting. My chest is no longer obscene. I can just go outside, and the fact that I could do it and it would just be allowed, I can't put into words how freeing it is and how sad it is that you have to get a part of you removed in order to access that freedom. That these women are insane, though, too. Let me just say this, like, I mean, I've dealt with street harassment as well, but like, I don't let it run my life.
No.
I don't let it get to me that much. You know, I think a lot of women, they get into these really hyper paranoid states about it, and they let it control them. And it's like, when I go out about my business, things do happen sometimes. And I know, though, 9 times out of 10, even more than that, 19 times out of 20, maybe even more, I'm going to be fine. I'm not going to experience anything weird.
Right.
And I just make sure I'm going about my business.
And with street harassment, most of the time, all a guy wants is for you to say hi to him.
Or acknowledge
it.
him in some way.
And I was telling my friend the other day, like a few months ago, I did have a guy, like a guy was clearly hitting on me. He was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And so I just answered him. I said, "I'm excellent, thank you. And you?" And he fucking said to me, this pissed me off more than if this had just been a normal street harassment encounter. He said, "What? Like, what the fuck do you think I said if I said ba-da-da-da-da and you?" But really, what could have happened was a guy, if this is me, a guy could have been like, "Ah!" And I could have just been like, "Ah!" back. And then he would have been satisfied with that. Because it's them, they're making noise at you, and they want you to make noise back. They really do not believe that you're going to be like, "Wow, can we go on a date together?" They're just making noise at you.
I mean, yeah, whenever a man says something to me, I do have occasional like weirdos. I had someone throw like glass at me recently. That was crazy.
That's bad.
He was crazy though. Like, I happened to be going in the same direction as him, and I had a latte and he didn't, so he clearly got upset. But like, I just ended up going in a different direction because I was like, because he was like, "This bitch better stop following me," and then all of a sudden he like starts throwing like these pieces of glass. I was like, "Okay, I'm getting out of here." But anyway, like, usually it's just some guy saying something like, "Good morning," or "You're pretty," "You look beautiful," like, and I'm just like, "Thanks," and I keep going,
That's it. That's the end of it.
Like, I don't, like, yeah, I guess I could get angry about the fact that these men are talking to me and like, how dare they be so entitled to think that they should have any energy from a woman at all. But like, it's also like, I don't think it's that weird to acknowledge people as you pass them by. The fact that we don't do it in our culture is kind of weird anyway. I like saying good morning to people or waving. Like, I'm a friendly neighbor, and I try to just be neighborly. And if someone, I just, yeah, it can get out of hand sometimes, and yeah, men can be annoying, but to let it get to you like that much, to let it like get to you that much, that's you.
That's your problem.
You
created that problem.
Yeah,
you're problem than it actually was.
Ruminating on it, and you probably have some other unresolved trauma issue, and you're like scared of men because of it, and you're making it bigger than it needs to be. Like, I don't know, I can't with these women. And John and Vark says just awful in it. I've seen some gnarly trans mastectomies. Yeah, I have too. Hers wasn't that bad, but I couldn't believe she was like taking it out and just playing with her nips on camera. That was wild.
It was not what I wanted to see. I think hers was so like passable because she was so freaking tiny to begin with.
Yeah.
And it looked like she fucking went on testosterone.
She probably didn't have very large
school.
breasts either.
But even if that is the case, like, I don't want to see you touch your nipples on camera.
This is quite a comment. I don't know if I have a response.
Well, I mean, that's what they're doing a lot of the time, is they're kind of making it up on the spot. A lot of them don't know what they're doing. Do you remember that one woman's name, that Florida woman who's the surgeon?
I don't know her name, but yeah, I've heard of her.
There's this Florida woman who is a surgeon, and she like specializes in top surgery, and multiple of her patients have posted multiple pictures of themselves like having been botched, and there's like little to nothing that they can do about it. It sucks. And it's not even just that there's little to nothing they can do about it. Like, it's really, really serious if you get an infection on an injury like that, and they can't even sue this woman because she went through the right legal hoops to not be able to be sued. And that's not, I guarantee you, that's not the only person who's done that in the nation, in the world.
Well, there's just so many cases, like even the normal people who are like in the trans community, they'll be like, oh, it had some complications, and the complications are like the most horrifying things you've ever heard of.
Like really serious.
Like very serious, like could easily die from this.
And people
like,
don't in every single other type of surgery, if there is a complication, people don't brush it off.
Right.
They're not like, oh yeah, I got sepsis, like, but it was okay. Like they don't behave the only way they
part of it
that.
fell off and rotted.
But it's okay, they fixed it. Like they don't behave that way for
I
anything
had to
else.
wear a what is that thing called? I had to have a catheter in my urethra for 6 months. No biggie.
It's so insane.
Just
the trans surgeries are the ones that get like so insanely deflected like that. When they're serious.
This person was told they need to have at least 3 periods a year. Like why? Maybe it's just me. I don't dread my period the way I guess that some people do. I mean, obviously I don't have gender dysphoria, so, I don't. That's part of it.
I don't dread my period either, and it did, like, when I was a teen and I wasn't used to it yet, I definitely did have to, like, adjust to it. Yeah. But it wasn't, I was never, like, in misery about it.
I still had a positive attitude toward menstruation.
Right. Actually, you want to hear something funny about me? When I was a kid, we got, like, the sex talk or whatever. We got, like, the puberty talk in elementary school. And when we were learning about periods, like it was mostly like a video that we watched that was like the lesson. And like I didn't understand, I'm not kidding, I didn't understand that your period only happened once a month. I thought that once you had your period, you would just have it continuously forever. And I was like, oh my God, that's horrible. But then later I found out it was only once a month and I was like, oh, great.
Yeah. And, sometimes they're less than that. And it's just like, she's getting hers once every 2 months. And it's just funny that she like goes in to treat it and it gets so much worse. Like if you're like, this is the thing too. They just play around with their hormones all the time. Like it's nothing. Your hormones are a big deal. They really affect so many aspects of your life. And they're just like, oh yeah, I'll just pop this pill every day and then I'll take tea on top of it and, get my ovaries taken out eventually. It's like, girl, what is wrong with you?
I was going to say in that video we just watched, the fact that she was like just so nonchalantly like saying all that stuff about herself, like, oh, well, I don't know if I'm going to get testosterone or not, or like, blah, 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 like all this like kind of serious stuff. And she was just like acting like it was some like fun topic for a video for her. And it's like, it is, but it's like, this is your actual life. Like, but you're making it some like fun video subject. And I'm not at all surprised that she said she watches Chase Ross videos because Chase Ross.
Is that some popular FTM?
She influenced a lot of transness.
And the prosthetic thing. I mean, I said it but it's not a prosthetic. It's a dildo.
It's called a dildo.
It's a strap-on. It's a dildo. Okay, you don't impress me with your prosthetic terms. A prosthetic is something you use because you've lost something. You never had a penis. All right. This is just reminding me of the female eunuch. Now I'm thinking about Germaine Greer's female eunuch and the fact that women are so castrated that they don't have any connection with their own bodies as sexual, like that they could even use a term like prosthetic for a dildo. Like you have organs of your own and they function and you should have a relationship with them.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like, come on. But women are so like, and she's had her breast removed, which is a form of castration as well. Like you're having your female body castrated. They do. They're no different. It's a new form of female castration. Before we talked about it, though, women were just castrated like mentally and like now it's literally
actual physically, So fucked. So fucked.
Sis says, I feel so bad for these girls. I don't really feel bad for them. Like, yeah, this is the thing. We feel bad for them, but they don't feel an effing thing for us. You know, that's the thing. They're just like,
well, they're the most oppressedest.
Yeah,
So
they're
any
like-
other bad feelings that other women have are trivial in comparison.
yeah, like they don't have any solidarity with us or care for us at all. Like, what? But we're supposed to like, oh, they feel so like, come on, like, no, it's. I feel like we coddle these women way too much.
Oh, they're 100% coddled.
They're so coddled, and like
1000% coddled.
nobody ever like puts their arm around you to comfort you about your womanhood and the stress of it, and like,
No.
but they're just like given all of this, you know, attention and praise, and they're listened to as if like what they're going through is more impactful or more serious than what all women go through, and it's really not any different.
Well, they're revolutionary transes, Terry.
You know, they're breaking down
They're
the gender
so-
barrier.
They're just so special.
Yeah,
Everything about them is just
everything is so
awesome.
Yeah, and they're so brave, and then of course they detransition because it, you know, is so unhealthy. They give
Because-
themselves all kinds of problems, and then they're put forward as like being the voice of anti-transness, and it's like, you know, I just get kind of like tired. The women who get sucked into this are like not female identified. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. They don't have any like connection to themselves as women, and they don't connect with other women. Like, they don't see or have a bond in that way with other women. They can't connect as a woman to another woman. They can't speak woman to woman, you know, because they think they're different. And then we like, you know, feel bad for them and then coddle them. And then when they come back crying into the arms of the sisterhood, it's like, you know, be suspicious. I feel like, you know, it's great for them to like come back and like honor who they are. But like when somebody is like that, when somebody is not like other women, you know, when somebody has that kind of attitude that they're somehow better or different than other women, that's something that's pretty deeply ingrained and that needs to be excavated more than anything. And often it isn't. They still act superior. They still act like they know more, or they have more experience, or like they act like their newfound womanhood is like, you know, they're so much more in touch with it than you are. Like, this has just been my experience. And obviously it's not every single one, but this is a pattern, you know.
She was saying in the video, like, well, I didn't have dysphoria about my voice and about my no bottom surgery, but after I got the top surgery, I started having dysphoria about those things. And that's because, like,
yeah, because now everything's mismatched.
Now everything's mismatched, but it's also like the trans cult is like this never-ending thing. Like it's never going to be enough. No matter how many surgeries you get, it's never going to be enough because you're never actually going to become a biological male.
Mm-hmm.
Ever.
You're never going to be comfortable because you're never going to pass well.
No.
Also, she's non-binary, so what is she even trying to become? Like, there's no word for it. There's nothing in the culture for what she's trying to become. Like, it's just this idea. And so once you start hacking bits off of your body, you're going to look at yourself differently. I mean, you're going to be like, oh, well, I'm not satisfied with this. And also a lot of it's cope, you know. I bet some part of her hates that she cut her breasts off. I bet some part of her does that, but now she's like, it makes you even more committed to going through the rites and rituals of the trans cult, because you're like, it's a sunken cost fallacy. You know, you've already invested this much. You need to keep going.
That's why they have to keep making videos about themselves and talking about how happy they are that they had this, that, and the third done, because they don't actually feel that way. Like if you really were happy with what you'd done, you wouldn't need to keep saying it. And they have to keep saying it over and over again.
Yeah, I just say, stop. Worry about those who worry about you, I would say. Like these women aren't your friends, allies. They don't worry about you. Like how when a woman is distressed, our doctor is going, have your body cut up instead of, it'll be hard, but work hard to get resilience and get comfortable and brave. Right. I don't know. It's not really a doctor's responsibility to treat. This is the thing. I watched a video where someone was responding to the Fat Doctor UK. She's like a TikToker and she's fat and I don't know what kind of doctor she is.
Is she a Hayes?
She's a Hayes, and she makes outlandish statements like, health cannot be measured, like health doesn't exist, or there's so many different kinds of health, and then like a medical doctor isn't qualified to like treat your health because your health is like so many different things. It's emotional, it's financial. It's like, yeah, but a medical doctor is there to treat your physical health.
Right. Right.
They can look into that for you. But anyway, now what was she saying though? Oh God, what was it reminding me of? But yeah, it's just
the Fat Doctor was saying.
Gosh, why did I get reminded of her?
It'll come to you.
Damn, I just lost my thought.
About how she had to keep making videos and say she was happy, and it's sunken cost fallacy. I don't know. I brought this woman up, but there's something about it, like I guess maybe it's the health thing. The doctor is not there to treat all of your problems. Right.
You don't go to a doctor to deal with your mental health problems. You don't go to a doctor to deal with your financial problems. You don't go to a doctor to deal with your emotional problems.
No.
You go to them to treat your physical health. Just like you wouldn't go to an accountant to treat your freaking like
ankle.
Yeah, problem. Your ankle problem. Like, your issue with your digestion, that weird rash you have. All of that, you go to the proper person for it. And I think a lot of these people have like just, they expect a doctor or a surgeon to solve a problem which exists in here,
She was so obsessed with talking about all her medical care. She was like so happy.
Yeah, they are like
to
that.
rattle it off and rattle it off and rattle it off. And it's like, you don't actually need any of that care.
Yeah,
I get it when people actually need that care. Like I follow this gal on YouTube who she is an amputee. She doesn't have 2 full legs. She's a below the knee amputee. But like, so she talks about her doctor's office. She talks about her prosthetic all the time because like it's an ongoing thing for her. And there are also people out there who want to hear about her experience or whatever. But like, she also has to go. She can't just, not see the doctor because she doesn't feel like it. But like these people who are trans don't need any of the treatments they're getting. They don't need any of them.
That's true.
And they're still in love with, going to the doctor and talking about having been to the doctor and what this doctor said, what that doctor said. It's
because it's part of the rituals and rites that they're under. Again, cult rituals, the rituals. It's like you're in a cult, you have to do these different rituals in order to, continue to participate in the cult. And the more of them you do, the higher up the hierarchy you go. Although, this woman didn't get too far. She left her channel. She's not making content anymore. She didn't get that many views. I don't know why her stuff got got presented to me, but I guess just because I've been viewing other content like it's getting recommended now. Thankfully, I do like watching these videos and kind of like responding to the insanity. And Kira says they treat it so quirky. I know, it's just like, it's so quirky. It's so fun. Like, oh, I went to the doctor. Like, you're a healthy person. Why are you going to the doctor?
Right. Yeah, they talk about like the doctor, how I talk about going to the yarn store. Like,
I know. Yeah, they do. They think we are beneath them because we're women and we don't, not be women. I'm confused by the detrans women who get pretty trad wife vibes. I mean, I've had a bit of that too from being a radical feminist. Like, coming out of that, like, I really have enjoyed the process of becoming feminine again, like, for myself. Just so I understand it. Like, if you've cut yourself off from that for a long time, you kind of
they want to go
fling yourself
they
back
were
into
in
it.
one extreme and then they go to another.
Yeah, and I also think like this is the thing about female transitioners, they're generally feminine.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're really feminine.
We've talked about this, like I talked about this years ago, like more femmes transition than butches. Like we've talked about this. It's really interesting, the rate. People are like, oh no, what's happening to the butch lesbians? I'm like, the butch lesbians aren't the ones getting caught up in this. It's the femmes. Because like, again, this is just another style that some femmes get caught up in. And honestly, like
it is.
But you look at these women, like the one we were just watching, femme, the one before that, femme.
Super feminine.
These women were not in any way, they wouldn't read to you as androgynous at all unless they hadn't been like doing these very specific things to come across that way. But if they were just normal, you wouldn't think anything of it. But they purposely go out of their way to look more like masculine by the clothes they wear. But like you put a butch in a dress, she's not gonna like get
it's not
clocked.
Gonna suit her. Yeah.
It's not gonna look right, but like these women generally, they can do either. And I'm not saying because Kiara's like butches and masks get sucked into. Yeah, but to a lesser extent, And a lot of them get sucked into just like they theming themselves or.
So dumb.
But, women need to stop castrating themselves.
Truly.
This is what it is. Like women really need to stop desexualizing themselves. And that's what a lot of it is. It's just a complete discomfort with our own sex. And this is just the latest manifestation of it in our culture, but like it's existed forever, where women just completely, and because they cut themselves off at the root, they, are completely blown around in the world. Like you can't, if you are in some way castrated, if you are in some way like disconnected from your own primal force, you're going to be without roots and you're going to be completely easily blown around by the culture. And this is, again, just another manifestation of it. Like, and it's, of course, this is part of why they target the young, because, the youth don't really have an understanding of themselves or their sexuality or their bodies. Like they don't have a real connection to it because it's just coming into fruition. And this is part of why they're trying to get kids sucked into it too. Like,
so sick.
Going to have really compliant, very compliant, conformist population of lifelong medical patients.
That
so
was
exciting.
Completely, entirely avoidable.
Yeah. Profitable and, I'm just saying, yeah. Jeanne d'Arc is talking about the ratios of women, saying it's 50-50 femme or butch. I mean, okay, I don't know. Not many women are butch though. Like that's the thing. Like,
right, it's not
even women who
super common.
identify as butch, like, aren't.
Plenty of them aren't, yeah.
Like, for that,
all.
like, or, you know, even women who kind of are into that and get kind of sucked in that, a lot of them are femmes. Like, it's the true butches are kind of rare. Like, and like, anyway, I don't want to get all into that again. I've talked about that in the past, and it's not really anything I really want to get into, those kind of politics. But I'm just saying, like, I was just bringing it up as an aside. Like, you notice a lot of these women are feminine, and this is just a way that they express their femininity. And then when you look and they detransition and then they grow their hair out and they start wearing makeup and they start going for a feminine style, like, don't be surprised, because like they were always feminine. You know, these women were always feminine. They just were playing around with a different style for a while. That's all it is. That's why I was getting into that.
It's so fucked that like being trans is fashionable.
The early 30s women where I am online, it's a lot of straight girls too. And where I am, super feminine straight girl calling herself a man, dressing hyper feminine and wanting a mastectomy and testosterone. Yeah, it's weird. I don't understand it. Maybe I think about femininity differently, but it's nice to hear what you guys are seeing over the pond. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's, I think it's, what I'm talking about is true in most cultures though. Like, but yeah, there's straight women getting into this is, you know, it's interesting. A lot of them, I've seen, you know, different ones, and they've got a husband and, you know, kids, but they're, you know, prioritizing
so
getting their surgeries.
So insane.
Who's on testosterone now? Hurl Brand is 100% being a Barbie doll. Like, I don't know who. Did we mention someone?
No, I think she.
Oh, I was just talking about this woman. Oh, I see. Wild. Amy said, "Do you remember a butch who made videos?" Dirt is unforgettable.
I didn't see Dirt.
Oh, I know about Dirt. I know about Dirt. Yeah, Dirt is unforgettable. Of course, I know about Dirt.
She's still around?
I'm sure she's still around. I haven't interacted with her. I'm not on. Last time I interacted with her on Twitter, she came for me. It was exciting.
Oh.
I was like, yes.
Awesome.
Dirt noticed me. But yeah, I think she's got married and like is, yeah. I don't know. She would just like make videos where she read her blog posts, but is it Dirty White Boy 67? And boy is spelled with an I think is her name. Like, yeah, I mean, yes, I do follow some of those women still, but yeah, Dirt, I probably am still subscribed to her, but I haven't seen her make any videos in a long time. So you can go back and watch her back catalog. She has a website still. I think she was doing a website with her wife, and they were talking about like lesbian culture and their experiences and their kind of viewpoints. But anyway, yeah, it's been years though still. I mean, the last interaction with her had to be like 5 years ago for me. So I don't know what she's up to exactly. But I also, I didn't always agree with her takes, obviously. So anyway, yeah, it was exciting when she came for me because it was like,
you were like, I'm ready.
I'm like, Dirt knows who I am. Oh, good times. Well, I think we should probably get going because we've been on here a while. We planned to be on for like an hour and a half, and
here we are.
Funny how it sucks you in.
We were having fun though.
We were having fun. Time. Yeah. Thank you for spending some time with us on Christmas. Thanks for showing up,
everybody. Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you all. Oh, Nee's here. Is he gonna let you? He's letting his auntie pick him up. This is a good boy. He's not scared. Mama's right here. Bye-bye. Bye. Yeah. Bye.
Thanks for coming. Merry Christmas. You love Mama.
He does love his mama. All right. I'll see you all another time. And yeah, take care. Have a Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, he's being so good.